Dude, there's a lot of respect for Denjiro in this cover story.
Wait,
Man.
loss of respect.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah,
Loss of respect. Wait, why? Wait.
What? He's
Huh?
kidnapping these kids. This isn't timeout. We need to put him on a
No,
list.
he's gonna execute them. What are you talking about?
That's also not timeout.
But, okay, these kids were throwing rocks at Yamato, man. I mean, do they not
when
deserve this?
someone
I
says
don't know.
time outside, they don't mean permanently. They mean temporary.
Time to go bye forever, kid. Yeah, you're done.
That would be the craziest twist in like a Toy Story movie. You know, like it's like Andy, time for timeout, and then we like
You see like a machete in the background, just
yeah,
ready to take him out.
Like Woody and Buzz is like, oh guys, well just 10 minutes. That's usually timeout, and then they come back and he's fucking dead. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, what? That's not
Yeah, I mean,
timeout.
okay, here's the thing. I don't think Denjiro is gonna punish them too harshly. It looks like Yamato's vouching, right? Like Yamato's like, hey, no, it's good, Denjiro. Like, don't kill him. But I love how happy Denjiro is, dude. He's throwing up the fist. He's smiling a little bit. Like,
You know
this is
what
great.
happened, right?
What happened?
This is Denjiro showing the like the conditioning he had because he didn't get time skipped. He lived the 20 years with Kaido underneath his. He learned how to treat. He's giving those kids the Yamato treatment that he learned from the Beast Pirates.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you gotta
when
remember, like,
timeout-
Denjiro's a stone cold killer inside, man.
Yeah, his face is. We don't even know what he looks like.
Yeah, he was Orochi's mafia boss, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah.
These kids are cooked.
And the bag isn't big enough, first of all. And like second of all, like a timeout for Yamato meant put him in a cave, starve him, and maybe one of them wakens conquers hockey, and then boom. You know,
Or it could be like the whole thing where, you know, back in the day, like that one guy fed Yamato, and then the next day he got crucified.
yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, rest
no.
in peace, these kids. I think they're gonna be fine though. I mean, it does look like Yamato's gonna vouch him, and even then, like, I feel like Denjiro is one of the best scabbards to capture kids like this who are hating on Yamato. Because when you think about it, like, you know, Denjiro's lived all 20 years of Wano's, you know, slavery era with Kaido and Orochi. Hand in hand. He knows the cruelty of Kaido. But Denjiro is good friends with Yamato, you know? Like, it's showing that you can break that barrier. Like, just because you hate Kaido doesn't mean you have to hate Yamato. Take it from Denjiro, a man who's lived all 20 years, you know? So I feel like he could give them some really nice life lessons.
Do you think Denjiro ever sparred with Yamato?
Like, during, like, after we beat Kaido?
No. Like throughout her life, like on
Oh.
Onigashima. Do you think that Denjiro was ever?
I think
Because
that'd
we
be
saw
cool, yeah.
fodder.
Yeah.
So like I would imagine the tie ranking thing. I'm also wondering this because like
It sounds like some of the Tobiropo fodder too, right?
well, like that's exactly where I was gonna go with this. Because
Yeah.
like when this dropped, I was just like, I was playing in my head. I was like, wait, can Denjiro beat Yamato? And then I remembered our conversation from the last podcast where despite the audio, well, I didn't have to experience audio.
Despite Par's awful audio.
We talked about how Yamato solos Wano. Like Yamato is a demon lord for all of Wano. If like she ever decided to turn on them, it's raps. No one can stop her unless like Kaido and Big. That's like the end of the story where Big Mom and Kaido like revive, and it's like the myth from before. But like the point being is that like Yamato clears them, and then the Tobiropo, they were offered like, oh, we'll give you a calamity position
if you capture Yamato.
Yeah, and then they were like, got it. Easy. Like Alti was running after her ass, and it's like, wait.
Yeah,
can
Alti,
we
you
talk
can't beat
about
Yamato. I mean, but here's the thing though, like you gotta at least try. I don't blame him, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like would that be like I'm trying to think of an equivalent here. That'd be like telling the monkey on Shanks's crew to like fight Rayleigh. I don't even know. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to think of an equivalent that would like make a little bit more sense. Yamato's literally like
Yeah, like Yamato's just head and shoulders above everyone else. Like unless we're talking about Momonosuke, because he has untapped potential. He has like, you know, the strength of Odin's
like,
body,
Kaido.
Kaido's devil fruit.
But like for Kaido and King to like put out bounty on Yamato,
Yeah.
like they should know that Yamato is like not easy to beat. Like Kaido especially. Does Kaido think that like 1v1 the Tobi Roppo hold their own? Like I'm confused.
I mean,
Because
maybe
Yamato
he thinks that
could.
Yamato would have given up back at Onigashima.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
It's
somebody
just
made
it's
fun of
just
us last week. They said, I can't
really.
wait for the Parcast where they spend 1 hour talking about Yamato and talk about the same Wano events again.
What do you mean? Oh, like
Because
the
because
stuff.
we whenever we see Yamato, we go on like a 1 hour Wano tangent. And then I'm looking at the time right now, I'm like, man, they're not wrong, dude. There's something about
Hey,
Yamato that just invokes so much conversation.
hey, listen, like these conversations matter. We're gonna get lots of Yamato, and
You better buckle up, buddies.
yeah, life's either a
We're gonna be here for
marathon
a
or a
while.
sprint. And listen, I'm not trying to marathon Yamato. Let's get it all out now. I mean,
We're
the
gonna be
hope
here for like
is,
30 volumes, dude. Like, I mean, dude,
but the
how
hope
long was
is
the Neo
that
Mads one?
the after it's like 39 or something like that,
Oh my
right?
god. Yeah, we got a lot of time with
38.
Yamato.
Yeah. Yeah, like, but the hope is that by the end of it, it's like not just Yamato, right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
it's like in there's Beige's one where we got sword. We got like X. No, I don't want to bring up
33
X Fake.
volumes for
33.
Germa and
Yeah, and
Neo
like the
Mads and
last
them.
like 10 of them were about Vegapunk. So it's like or Mads.
Also, real quick, if you guys notice that Par's camera goes gray, that's not Par's fault either. That's completely mine. Discord has a weird thing where every now and then it just gets grayed out completely. There he
Oh
is.
no, Emeth, Emeth, get out of the water!
Yeah, I don't
Just
know what's going
like
on with that.
the Emeth is getting beat up by the Gorosei. This is immersion. Wait, Discord is immersing us into the story right now
It
because that's
really
what's
is.
happening to the world is getting the Parcast right now. It's wow, fantastic editing aside. This is
Fantastic
incredible.
editing. Yep, I'm the one who purposefully made Par's camera gray. Yep.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
oh,
amazing.
I was about to say one thing about this cover page that really like stands out to me after I've made like all the videos about it is that they have like the weapon factories in the background still. Do you think they're still using them?
Hell yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
so.
the
Yeah.
problem wasn't
Just
the
hire
weapons
people.
factory.
It's just the
It
slaves,
was
right?
no, well, yeah. The problem wasn't the building. It like, yeah, I'm sure they're traumatic. Like that's a whole separate. But the real problem was they weren't getting like paid or like food or fresh
Yeah.
water. Like,
And they're like polluting their own environment by using these factories too much.
yeah, like all in good like moderate. Like there was no like moderate. And the thing is, it's like. Could they possibly handle the export? Like, how many ships realistically were setting sail, giving weapons out? That would be
That's a lot.
like, cause yeah, they're giving the entire
Yeah.
world weapons. Like the Gorosei CP0 came to them. I'm like, how is nobody noticing all of these boats coming in and out of Wano? That's a metric fucked up.
You know what I think about now? Like I wonder
What?
so since Wano doesn't really have a reason to like arm up right now, do you think Momonosuke
Yeah.
is like preparing for the big war and he's like, guys, we need to make these weapons. Like we gotta churn them out, boys. Do you think they're doing that?
Bro, they need to bring back the dojos first. Like weapons is one thing, but they
Bring
need
back the
people that can
dojos, the
use
sword
them.
styles.
Yeah, because like they had all the swords in Onigashima, but they I mean, listen, like they're still fodder. You know what I mean? Like they
No,
need to,
but they're strong fodder. I mean, like Akainu said, don't underestimate the samurai from Wano.
yeah. And when he said that,
guys
he
are
meant
crafty.
like 5. He meant like 6 samurai in total.
He really just meant like Odin.
Yeah, like he like yeah, he's like the thing is it's like I do want to redo and I want Hyogoro to do something because he said like if only I fought with you Odin. And I'm like, yo, could imagine a timeline where just Hyogoro plus Odin wipes Kaido and we don't have it's not Kaido as a Yonko, it's
Or even just
it's
like all of
Hyogoro,
Wano
like,
follows Odin, right?
yeah. I mean, but like again, like when Kaido's saying samurai, he could be meaning like 1,000 samurai, or he could just be meaning like Hyogoro and like Denjiro and like the people who actually and Ashura
We need a
right?
we need a One Piece what if, kind of like how Marvel has the what if stories. Like just
Yeah,
what
yeah.
if like, what if Hyogoro, all the Yakuza bosses, and all the regular citizens of Wano followed Odin into battle that day and fought Kaido? Like, how different would things be? Because when you think about it, like, so Hyogoro wouldn't exactly have anybody big to fight, but that's key, because that means that he'd be fighting possibly, like, the shape-shifting lady who had Bon Clay's Devil Fruit, and then the Momonosuke thing would have never happened.
Yeah.
You know, Odin's attack would have went through, and then Kaido might have been done.
Yeah.
The what ifs, man. If I was Hyogoro, I'd be living that day every minute. Like, man, I should have just went. I should have just went.
It's crazy how.
And then Yasui too. Yasui, he was in his prime back then. He didn't go.
It's crazy how we naturally got to something. I was gonna ask this later on because Oda reinstated like the whole Rogers Pirates knew everything, right?
Yeah.
But this is actually a good time to ask it. Like, obviously, we know the chapter and stuff. But I would like. I was thinking about making a what if video, but like I would do this in a collaboration sense. The question is like, what? It's a hard thing to frame, but like, if Odin won, right, and Kaido wasn't a Yonko, would Odin like what would Odin do? Because I feel like he would be the Roger pirate that would be more active, right? Do you think Odin would like become a Yonko? And just be like not a good Yonko, but like a Shanks Yonko. You know what I mean?
Would
like a
Odin become a Yonko? I feel like he'd be as powerful as a Yonko. I don't know if he would though. I mean, okay, so thinking about this, the first thing Odin would do after beating Kaido would be to open the borders of Wano. So I feel like he would maybe establish connections around the islands around him. But I guess that kind of would make him a Yonko, right? Like establishing those connections. You have like a town or a city that isn't affiliated with the world government. I guess he would be a Yonko. He would be.
Well, because when you think of Kaido, right? Like realistically, like when we were having the debate about like who's going to become the next Yonko, and like, you know, I'm not going to say I'm the only one, but obviously there's a handful of people that got slandered for saying Buggy. You guys might forget that time period, but there was a time period right after the chapter dropped. Bunch of people said Buggy, and like, you're stupid. Obviously, it's Mihawk. And then the irony was the Mihawk under Buggy was crazy. But the point is that like part of that debate was saying like part of being a Yonko is having territory and like obviously strength. Like it, but when you look at like Kaido, he wasn't using the strength like that. Like Big Mom had wide territory, and she had like an armada that like was known. Like Kid was fighting like those things, but and not directly clashing with her. And she had like CP0 and all this stuff. Whereas Kaido was just sitting on Wano for like 20 years. Like the only time we heard about him like leaving was like the Whitebeard situation where he like got stopped by Shanks. But other than that, like the Beast Pirates weren't like
they're kind of stationary.
As far as, yeah. So then I'm just thinking like maybe Odin would have just been the Yonko by their standard because they're not affiliated with the world government. Yeah. And then the other thing I was thinking about, would Odin even know how to drop the walls? Because in order to do that, he would have to talk to
I feel like he would.
Oh no. Oh
he
yeah,
has the voice of all
no,
things,
he has to. Yeah. No, but he has the laugh tail info. Duh.
Yeah, he has laugh tail info. He has the voice of all things. He could easily just call up the homeboys and be like, "Hey guys, you need to come by."
So then, in that what if, then Odin would be.
Oh my god! Imagine if he brought Zunisha and the Minx to that fight. Oh my god, he definitely win.
Yeah, but
because he just had Inarashi and Nekomamushi.
But he couldn't command them. Only Momo could, right? Like Odin couldn't. He could like hear that there was a sound.
Yeah.
But he like someone was watching him, I think was what he said. But he couldn't like interact. He couldn't hear and he couldn't talk. So that's where like Luffy could hear, but he couldn't talk. Momo could hear and talk. Odin and Roger, we don't know.
They could just hear.
Yeah, no, they could just feel. They felt that something was there.
Yeah.
When it came to the Sea Kings, Roger could hear, but he couldn't speak back. That's, I think, what the discrepancy
Something
was.
like
and
that,
I think,
yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, but as far as Laugh-Tail goes, he would have the information at least to know to break down the walls. But that's, you know, now I think about it, in the what if that if Odin did break down the walls, wouldn't that be awful for Wano? Because apparently, according to the Gorosei, Momo's a genius.
I'm not heeding the Gorosei's words on that. Until we realize or find out why breaking the walls would have been a bad idea, I'm going to stick to my guns and say it's a good idea. Like, I just don't know what would go wrong with that. Like, would the
Could you
world government
imagine-
make it, like, would it make it easier for them to attack Wano? Like, maybe? But
It's just
they would
funny
also have an
because
ancient weapon at that point. Like, I don't know.
usually I'm on your side about it, but like think about like what you said and how funny it would be for the Gorosei to acknowledge this plot point later on to be like, oh, so you're the leader of Wano.
It's gonna happen.
You
No,
close-
that's so gonna happen. You can't say,
know,
like,
but you know
imagine
how
that happening
silly-
one day. It's going to happen. At some point, we're gonna see Momonosuke break the wall, and they're gonna be like, wow, this is the battle stratagem. Like, this must be Foxfire, Kinemon, and Momonosuke's amazing leadership
Oh!
at hand.
I know what's gonna happen.
It's gonna be so silly.
Kaido grabbed Momo as a kid, said, "What's your name?" and blah blah blah. And like at the time, he didn't have his own dream. He didn't like it was a name, blah blah. But then later, he made good on it, right? But like he still needed people to defend him, right? Like Sanji swooped in, caught him, whatever, right?
Yeah.
The next time, we have to go to the next big snake,
Who?
and we know who got confirmed as a big snake in this
Oh,
chapter.
Jupiter.
Jupiter's
Took
gonna
me
be
a second,
holding
took me a
Momo
second.
and said, "Who are you?" And then then he's not gonna like grovel. He's gonna turn into a dragon, fighting the snake, and be like, "I am Momonosuke, the Shogun of Wano.
Yeah.
I am the one who kept the borders closed." And then Jupiter's like, "You're the mastermind behind
All the
Rocky
Gorosei
War."
stop dead in their tracks, cold sweat, like, so this is the Shogun of Wano, the one who didn't open the borders. Like, the
legendary-
genius of the land, the real Vegapunk.
The Wano incident, the Wano border
Yeah,
incident.
the next inheritor of the Nomi Nobi no Mi.
The pink dragon
The
of the
smartest
East.
man.
Dude.
That's so crazy. Like I said, I need to find out why that would have been a bad idea. I gotta know. Like, maybe I'm an idiot. I just don't see the bigger picture. But I really feel like breaking the walls right there would have been so good for him. But I guess it would also be growing pains because they're kind of having growing pains right now. I'm assuming by putting Denjiro as a daimyo of Kibi, just stationing your boys at different locations. Wano is trying to recover from Kaido. Like, maybe it would have been too much all at once. I can agree with that. But as far as outside threat goes, I don't know. I don't know how that would have affected it.
Yeah. I mean, this is like a meme logic kind of thing, but like in one of my, it was in my Pluton video. I talked about like the idea that something like the water itself, some part of it is super important. And I forget if it was in like, side streams where we talked like, with some people who hopped in. I forget, this was like a year, 2 years ago or something like that. But like, especially now that like we know that like the sinking thing, like the water levels rising, whatever the context of it is, like we don't really understand the scale of Wano to the extent of like how much water is sitting in there. And it's the goofy part is thinking that like if you broke the walls, that water is enough to like raise the water levels, because that doesn't make sense. But like also One Piece is just like crazy with scale sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if it's like 10,000 kilometers high and then the Wano is like the size of a continent, you know what I mean? That's not a little bit of water.
But
That's
here's
like,
the thing, like you said, the world of One Piece is weird because it's like, okay, realistically the water would just, it would rise to sea levels too. It would just, give into that. But also we have these giant holes that just take water in, like the hole in Eni's lobby and the hole that was once Leloucia. It's like, would it fall in there and just disappear, or would it be recycled somewhere else? Like, we don't know how the world of One Piece's water actually works yet. Yeah. So speaking of the story, first page, we finally made it.
Yeah,
and we got
years
Punk Hazard, dude.
Yeah.
This has always stuck out, and it was kind of odd to me at first, and I want to see like if you have an answer. But the caution sign that we see at Punk Hazard, that we even saw, or at Punk Hazard, like that we saw back when we were there, like of that skull, and it has like the little mustache thingy mabob. Like, what do you think that is? Yeah.
I mean, it's
not Vegapunk's symbol, right? It's not Vegapunk's symbol. It's not Caesar's symbol.
I think like because on Karakuri, I think he already used the skull and crossbone, right? That's why Frankie hit the button, was because it already had like as a kid, he already used skull and crossbone.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't particularly recall if this symbol was on Karakuri, but that would be where I would go if I cared to research that more. Is it important? I do think it's important. I don't know to what end though. I'm looking at the Vegapunk from a different angle based off this, but that symbol's always been like super interesting because for one, like I think the most important, not most important, but like one of the important things about this beginning panel is now we know like we never knew when Punk Hazard started.
Yeah.
We knew that Mads and Punk Hazard was like nebulously like over the last like 30, 40 years. And now we know 26 years ago, at minimum, at minimum, he had to have left Mads but like he's like established here. He has his if this is Vegapunk's logo, my man has branding already. You know what I mean? Like that's not the first thing you slate out in a contract when you get forcibly rehired and merged. So he went from Mads, he got that brand logo on here. And so like that's an insane thing because 26 years ago is like I said this on the stream, like Oda's been, if anything's to take note of, always the timeline. Oda's so great at keeping the timeline like making sense. But going back to the logo thing, like it's weird because it's like, is it just Onigashima? And it has to do with like what Marco said about like, this is what they used to call it. And it's like, does it relate to the Void Century? I don't know. And it's also weird because in this flashback, we know that at this point, Vegapunk doesn't really care about the Void Sentry stuff. So it's like this couldn't be related to that stuff. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
anything, it would just have to be a happy coincidence that
Like
something
at
like that exists.
first, I kind of went to like Saturn because I was like, oh, like, Saturn's the head of scientific defense. Maybe since Punk Hazard is like a science island, maybe that, like, he put his logo on here. But this has nothing to do with Saturn. Like Saturn doesn't even look like that. Not even its transformation does.
It looks more like workery.
Yeah, it looks like more like Warkudi, which I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense because he's like the justice guy, right? So
Yeah.
maybe it's a Holy Knight. Maybe there's like a science Holy Knight guy out there somewhere, and this is his symbol. Because like when you look at it too, like there's the Marine logo, and then there's the World Government logo, and they're both small in comparison to the middle logo. So it's like whoever's stated in the middle, they seem to be prominent. So I think a Holy Knight or Celestial Dragon symbol would make
Yeah.
sense.
If people want to check context, like I think the most important thing that a lot of people forget is that like people think that Caesar is the gigantification project, but that's not true. Caesar like promised something like a project to like Big Mom, and he was funded and he was doing it, and largely he was just like reviving projects. But according to law, Punk Hazard has been a secret government lab for like centuries, and the
Yeah,
world government has been wanting gigantification for centuries. And so that's where it gets a little convoluted because it's like this also just doesn't look like a giant. It also doesn't look like an ancient giant in that nature either. Like Onigashima also doesn't make sense because it's coming out like the side. Like the closest thing that you could maybe get to it is like Zunisha. Like maybe,
I
but like
might.
why?
So I'm probably gonna make a theory video off of this, but so I'm trying to make a video on like what I think the Holy Knights are going to be because I am on the boat that they're all gonna be like transformations to some extent, kind of like the Gorosei. And I have the whole thing. I think Garling's gonna be like a werewolf. I think there's gonna be a vampire that made Stussy a vampire. And when I saw this, I immediately thought that there might be an octopus or like kraken or mind flayer kind of or celestial dragon. I think that could
Like
kind of work.
Predator?
What's up?
Like the Predator?
No, not like the Predator. The Predator's
Or
like
is it
a
Alien? Alien
not
versus
even like the
Predator?
Alien. Alien's like an alien.
Which
Predator's kind
one's
of
the
like
one?
the Oh, okay. If you're thinking about the mouth, then that's Predator.
Yeah,
I was thinking
yeah.
like Mind Flayer, kind of like from like D&D or like Baldur's Gate or something, or like even like a Kraken person thing, because it has like the tentacles coming out. And I was going through Jolly Rogers in One Piece, and there's actually like a pirate crew called the Taco Octopus, and it kind of has almost
Yeah.
a similar Jolly Roger where like it has the two things coming out of the skull. and then it has like the
mhm.
teeth as well. So I'm like,
Yep,
okay,
yep,
like
yep.
maybe that was like a little hint.
Yeah, yeah. It's just this is
It's a weird
if
one. I
this leads
mean,
to something and it's Holy Night related, that'd be sick.
that would be
But
sick.
like then also the question is like is that was that then we go to the thing where it's like was that always the plan? Because that's a
Yeah,
weird one.
were the Holy Knights always planned? If this is like like, you know, one in a thousand, you know, shot in the dark, if this does end up being related to a Holy Knight, it's like, how long is Oda? You know, because Emu is something you could go back to, like, probably Skypiea, and you can draw little things here and there. But, like,
Yeah.
for this, though, it's like, like,
Yeah, because
the 11 Holy
like
Knights,
and
how
people are like,
long?
"Oh, well, that doesn't necessarily mean that the Holy Knights had to be planted that long ago," but like but it's like the context of it because it did if Oda included that symbol, that means that the symbol belonged to somebody that he withheld past Wano and had no intentions of. And now that we know like how ingrained Vegapunk is to the story and like Kuma, how, like one of the biggest things that we have to give credit to is like the like how integrated Kuma ended up becoming and how well it worked with the story. But also now Vegapunk too. Like Vegapunk is now like been involved in so many side situations that it's like, wait, like this was the greater plan all this time. And the thing is, like, we know that at least Oda had Vegapunk in his mind because was it almost in every arc at the end of it when they read the newspaper, Vegapunk was always mentioned at the back. Oda always gave like
Yeah.
supplementary information on Vegapunk. I think every arc had like a little bit of information on Vegapunk or
I think
some
we first
connection.
got Vegapunk at the end of Eni's lobby, and then we just kept on getting him.
Yeah, and there could be stuff from before that too. It might not be a character per se. It might be like an Easter egg type of like newspaper thing.
Yeah.
Um, and so like the overall point being that like if you apply that context to like the design of Punk Hazard and like that symbol, then it's like wait a second, like whatever the end stage is for that thing, that kind of felt that would mean more to me that it's like pre-planned. And if it ends up being the Holy Night, that's crazy. If it ends up being like you know, not realistically, that's the wrong word here, but like it could be like how when we got the Yonkos at Eni's lobby, and then we got the Yonkos in general, it was like
It was very
really this?
different.
Yeah, yeah, where
But
it's
here's the
like
thing, it looks like he's doubled down here, though, because he brought it back up. Like,
yeah.
that's the first panel.
Hey, but hey, it could be the cope from Nasajuro that we heard, the famous. Hey guys, Oda can change the design of the sword wherever he pleases. He couldn't just change the sword over 20 years, Par and Sai,
I feel
and
like
then
when we get the volume changes, I think they're gonna fix Nasuduro's blade for sure.
yeah, yeah. I feel like a bunch of the translating Twitter people all mentioned it, and that was kind of like
Yeah.
like yeah, yeah.
And
We
whenever
were
that
kind of
happens, Oda usually does go back and change the volume. The
yeah.
most prominent thing that I remembered recently, and that's because the episode came out, but it was the Shanks thing, where we saw Shanks at Elbaf, and when we first got it, there was like a bunch of blueberries on the table, and people were like, "Wait, what the hell? Like, doesn't Shanks hate this?" And then because
Uh-huh.
it's in his Vivre card, and then Oda went back in the volume, and then he changed the coloring of the grapes altogether, so that it's not
Ah,
blueberries.
that's so nitpicky. It's crazy.
It's so nitpicky, but I mean, it kind of, in a weird way, it kind of matters because, you know, when you think about it, it's like there's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
thousands of foods out there, but Oda put like like the one food that Shanks canonically does not like. So it's like one of those
Here's
changes
the
that you kind of have to make at that point. So I
here's
kind of
the
feel
thing
bad for
about
Oda.
it
Too many
though.
characters, man.
That probably wasn't Oda though, because
You think it was like an
Oda
editor that
said
just came
that
in?
yeah, when it comes to drawing, he draws more than others, and when it comes to One Piece, what he draws, anything that has motion. So something like a grape or a building, he's not drawing because it's
Yeah.
not moving. And the
Do you
exact
think he whipped the
reason,
guy that that drew blueberries?
yeah, he's like, how dare you not be up to
Yeah,
date
you're
with Ujima
fired. Get
Kaisen?
out of my office.
And you know the worst
Blueberries,
part about the
blueberries.
worst,
Fucking
yeah, yeah,
going
the
nuts.
worst part of it is that Oda is Shanks, so that editor was like insulting Oda's existence. You know what I mean? Like, like
Oh,
Oda,
Par.
like what?
I forgot. We're like 40 minutes in. Par, you're very smart. How did you get so smart? How did you do this? Is it big?
Nah.
Is it because you have a nice, big, healthy brain? Which is why I am thankful for the sponsor of today's video, Brilliant. Brilliant is a truly fascinating platform that I've come to appreciate throughout using over the last few weeks. To easily sum up what it is, it's a tool to help you learn new skills and sharpen your mind. And quite honestly, I'm in love with this, and using Brilliant on a daily basis has become a part of my daily routine. Brilliant never once has ever felt like a chore, as they've made learning easy, accessible, and engaging with their interactive app and website. There are a variety of subjects you can tackle there as well, such as statistics, data programming, science, mathematics, and more. While all these topics may seem daunting to learn at first, Brilliant has made penetrating these subjects as easy as can be, and their learning system, might I add, is almost always interactive, which makes the entire process fun. My favorite part about what Brilliant offers is that they even have a mobile app, and all their courses have been formatted for it as well. Brilliant even gamifies your learning by offering experience points and achievements when completing courses. So now, at least once a day, I boot up Brilliant to chip away at a course and learn something new. It's like a nice workout for your brain. And this isn't just superficial either. If you work in data programming, for example, then the stuff you learn here can help you be better at your job. I just recently completed a course on LLMs, or large language models, which helped me learn more about AI and how those systems work. And that's a key thing to know of nowadays, since AIs are becoming more and more prevalent as time goes on. So if you're interested, you can try everything Brilliant has to offer for free for a full 30 days by visiting brilliant.org/SYV, or by clicking the link in the description below. You'll also get 20% off an annual premium subscription if you click that link. That is brilliant.org/SYV. Thank you again, Brilliant. So,
speaking of brilliant characters.
Speaking of brilliant characters, there we go. Where was our train of thought? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, I
kind of derailed us.
Just that Oda probably didn't draw the grapes, and the editor probably
the editor didn't use Brilliant on a daily basis.
Oda probably slapped blueberries down on his table and said, "Look at this, you eat them." And then like it was like that kind of a thing where it's just like Oda's like, "How dare you know I'm allergic to blueberries?" Like some like he has like. You know what I mean? And that like, I'm sorry, Oda, I'll never draw blueberries extra shades ever again.
Man, feels bad for that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, easy fix. It's like the person who draw the wrong number on Atlas, right?
That's a bit. That one was
okay. That one's a little bit more egregious. Yeah.
Yeah. Because also Oda likes clothing, so it's like that was him. That was his.
You know what's funny too? The chapter before is when we got the reveal of what number Atlas is supposed to be. So when we met this Atlas, people were like theorizing like a bunch of crazy things, and it's like, damn, dude.
Honestly, I was like, what if Oda's just pulling a fast one on us? And I forget if that was before or after his surgery, but like now can we just blame it on the surgery? Like he just messed up 5 and 6 because eye strain. Like, is that how that works?
I don't know.
I don't know if that's how impaired vision doesn't mean that's dyslexia. You know what I mean? Like that's not cataracts. You know, it's like wait.
Yeah, and it's funny because like it's not like a small panel. It was Atlas's introduction, giant. Double like page panel spread. That's so funny.
And then like she didn't even like in the manga. She's big, but in the anime, she's like she's like the colossal titan from.
Yeah, she's massive, dude.
She steps in and the rumbling happens. It's crazy.
I'm looking at Punk Hazard right now, and I'm not gonna lie, man. If this place never blew up with poisonous gas and a Kainu and Aokiji fighting, it would be a nice place to live.
Oh yeah.
Look how tropical 100%. It is, man. Palm trees, coconuts, some clouds. Pollution.
That's been a thing like I've been because Oda gave us some interesting context too, because in this page, amongst all of the crazy information and details, like that dragon is there, and it's like a baby dragon, but also like when you see it behind Clover, I'm like, is that the same dragon or is that like the other dragon?
Dude, because the dragons got ugly when they got older, man. Like the dragons here look cool.
Yeah, and it's like. It like the dragon is really important. I feel like it's such a subtle thing because
What?
the other thing is that the name that we got in the current timeline, like when the Straw Hats went there, that was the name apparently given to it by celestial dragons. I think the celestial dragons named it Dragon 13. I like that's I think what like the Wikipedia references a chapter. I remember double checking that. I was
Yeah,
like,
it was
wait, that's
named by the
crazy.
world nobles.
Yeah, that's super weird.
What's the other dragon's name? There's two of them.
I think it's just another number, but we don't have information on that. I don't think we have info. But I guess we're seeing both of them right here. But
Yeah.
in the current, like when the straw, we only got Dragon 13, I think, and it was named by celestial dragons. So it's like, what, how?
I think
And
the
then
other dragon's name is 12 if I had to guess.
that's a great guess. You know,
Huh,
yeah,
I'm adding this to the Holy Night theory because so my whole thing, we don't have an exact number on how many there are. I
yeah,
think there's 11. So if this is
okay,
13 and then 12 and then let's say the guy who has his logo on Punk Hazard is a Holy Knight,
yeah.
then that would kind of even this all out. Huh. Damn.
So
I'm
like
theory crafting on the spot.
this doesn't work for the
Weird.
werewolf part of it, and it's also weird for what we saw for Garland. But I like if I had to put money on something, it's because like are these dragons okay? Like that's where I'm with this because these aren't the same dragons as Kaido, and the reason why I'm saying that is because will Oda make the distinction of like an Eastern and Western dragon. These are Western dragons, and Kaido is an Eastern dragon. And that's
Yeah.
actually kind of important because in like Japanese lore, a Western dragon would more fit what a dinosaur is, but they called dinosaurs dragons. And they held dragons as gods. Like that's the distinction in like Japanese. Like technically that's how it would be. And so it's interesting because like to give another example, in Skypiea, the snake thing was a kami. So like that's more appropriately like Kaido, snake, dragon, that's like the Eastern dragon kami. And then these dragons would be more like dinosaur dragons. And if that's the distinction, the reason why that's important is because Kaido's dragon was classified under fish,
Yeah.
whereas if this was classified more under like bird or chicken kind of thing, which is what like Oda would joke about that. Then these could be like the like Karoo, like what Karoo is to Vivi. Like so, apparently there's like what 9 supersonic ducks that the Nefertari family has, and when we got to God Valley, we saw the Garlands riding like raptors, and or like some kind of emu bird. So I'm like, maybe one of the Holy Knights, if not like emu, just rides dragons. Like maybe, and the other thing is like we don't know the relationship between Vivi and Karoo and like Figarland and those dinosaurs. But what if it's like Tama's devil fruit, but like a natural version? Which now obviously we know the Gorosei have like non-devil fruit like devil fruit powers, so it's not crazy to think even without my theories that like boom there could be versions of this where we see the Celestial Dragons have like bird they ride birds, and maybe this is like Vegapunk was helping one of the Celestial Dragons, and this supports what you were saying about the symbol. But like the point
Yeah.
being is that this Vegapunk was doing them a favor by reviving like a Jurassic Park type of thing. He revived dragons for them so they could ride them.
Yeah, I mean
um
it kind of goes back to like how Vegapunk is a world government scientist. So if one of them wants it, they're just like, "Hey, Vegapunk, make this," you know? And
yeah,
then he has to
yeah,
be like, "Okay, okay, Dad, I got it." So it's like it
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
Makes a lot of
and
sense. Huh.
and like we could talk about the important parts because like we've spent a lot of time on this first page, but honestly when you look at the chapter, I've talked about it on stream, these first 2 pages are packed, so packed.
Yeah, let me tell you.
And I want to talk
Big
about the
top
things
load.
that this is another one where it's like something else I was thinking about is like, well, like dinosaurs are hatched from eggs. We're on Egghead. There's a giant egg. Obviously, there's been many theories about what comes out of that, what came out of that egg. But here's the hard part about that is that we know canonically that egg, unless it was transported there, grew to that size within 2 years. Because we see in the flashback that like that egg was not there when Kuma was came to the island. That egg appeared at like Labo phase wasn't a thing. Labo phase came out like after like Kuma started like seeing the straw hats like around then, and then we come back and we see the giant egg. So that egg, unless he imported this giant egg using Umi or a fluid, like that egg, if it was homegrown, naturally sourced egg, cage free, GMO. Well, obviously it's GMO, but like that egg grew it to that size in 2 years, and I'm like, how do like. You know when Kizaru
Are you talking about
was
like the egg?
like,
So wait, you're talking about the Egghead egg, right? Punk Records.
yeah, Punk
Do you think
Records,
that's a
that
real egg?
That's why I'm confused.
I don't
I'm
think
like,
it's a real egg.
If it's not a real egg, why is it? Why? Like, is it just the design? Is that?
I think it's just the design. Yeah.
But then I'm like, but like, because not that I care for the giant bird. Like, there's been people who've said like, oh, instead of a third party, Uranus is gonna come down, and Uranus came from that egg, or it's the same thing as Roger's egg, right?
Yeah.
And that's that. Like, I think Roger's egg is the main thing that's like, why? Where does the egg thing come from? The egg on Roger's ship is almost as random as the egg. The only thing that makes Vegapunk's egg less random is the island's called Egghead. But we also know that the island wasn't like he named the island Egghead. So like,
okay, but like here's the thing. Like I think we're undermining Vegapunk's creative mind. Like, what if he really just likes eggs and he had this design since he was a kid? He really wanted to build it, and then boom, here you go. It's his childhood dream come to life. Egghead.
So, and that's the other thing too, where he said that he had the plan for Labo phase even when he was on Punk Hazard. So I'm like, so he was gonna do the egg thing there too. So like maybe the egg is connected to a dragon, and like, but then I don't know how that dragon, where that dragon is, why that dragon.
What if this is his dream home? Like, what if he just always wanted this though? Like outside.
Like,
well, okay, like imagine this, right?
Tub?
Like, imagine a guy, he works as an Amazon delivery driver. He works 8 hours a week.
Vegapunk to this right now.
No. Just watch where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
8 hours a day. He works from morning to night. The guy's tired. He comes home to his little shabby apartment, right?
Uh-huh.
You got thin walls. The neighbors are always fighting, but rent's cheap. It's all good. And when that guy lays in bed every night, saving up his money, he dreams of where he could be. For us, it's a mansion. For us, it's a nice home away from all of it. Maybe it's in a nice neighborhood. You never know. Mm-hmm. But for Vegapunk, he works every day slaving away for the world government. So when he lays down at night, he thinks about where he wants to be the most. And he thinks about how nice it would be inside of an egg. Egghead.
Wow. That was the most wholesome lore I think you've ever written in your entire life.
I feel like that's why Minecraft is a great form of escape. Just you can build whatever you want, without anybody judging you. You just have your own private server. You just go ham at it. And I think this is what Vegapunk did. I think Vegapunk just went in and he said, I really love eggs. I want to make I want to make it a giant egg. I want to see if I can do it. And you know what? It's impressive. You know how like the, Japanese, they stack rocks on top of each other and they put the little water on it and it stays still. It's like, it's perfectly zen and balanced. Vegapunk said, you know what? I want to have the same thing, but instead of rocks, I'm going to use an egg because it's cracked. It's like this. Realistically, it would fall back, fall forward. But no. He perfectly balanced it, dude. I feel like that's really impressive. I feel like Vegapunk might have a little bit of Japanese in him. Like take a 23andMe, brother. I think Vegapunk is zen as hell.
That phenomenal, amazing. I love it. I agree. So what do you think is in Roger's egg, the tale of all times?
I think it's a dragon, dude.
I was waiting for this long ass to end to just hear that, to just hear you just be like, "Yep, that egg though."
Yeah,
that egg.
Shanks' egg. That's different. That's a living egg. We're talking about a mechanical egg over here. That's a real egg over there. I think there's a dragon in that egg, dude. It's gotta be. I
Oh
think a
god.
Western dragon, not none of that Eastern dragon thing. I think it's a Western dragon.
So do you think that Roger got his egg from Punk Hazard before?
No,
No.
I well, I mean, as far as Roger's egg goes, I feel like he got it somewhere else completely.
Do you feel okay? How about this?
Yeah, what's up?
Has Vegapunk ever? Okay, well, this is a good segue actually into later. So 26 years ago,
Mm-hmm. Hit me
Clover
with it.
stumbles upon the island. We don't know why he showed up solo. There's not really much context. He just, honestly, can we talk about this guy just showed up alone?
He kind of reminds me of King Cobra a little bit. Just an idealistic fool.
This dude, like, my man has what how many times have they caught you anyway? Open your eyes. Vegapunk's spitting real ass advice.
He really is, dude.
Like imagine being caught, escaped, they let you go free, and you just like, let me go back. Let me go to the Dragon Island that the government owns. That's the best one I should go to. Like, how did he end up here? Why did he end up here? Like, it's kind of funny. Like, imagine this. Every time he gets caught, his crew gets, like, he leaves his crew behind.
I mean, the thing is, have we seen Clover's crew? I feel like in that picture, it was just Clover on a boat.
No, I think there was two people next to him.
Clover pirates.
In like Shaka's retelling of it, I'm pretty sure there's two dudes next to him.
I don't even know to look up. Oh yeah, there's just one dude.
One dude.
There's just one guy.
That's the last voyage. That's his final one. Where at that point, like what Vegapunk said.
Oh wait, no, there's two dudes. I'm so sorry. It was just an image I saw. Somebody excluded one of the guys. They actually erased him.
Wait, why?
I don't know.
See,
it's a fan coloring, but in the fan coloring, they erased the second guy. They said, "Yo, get rid of this bozo." Wow, they really erased him and just put wood there.
My recollection of this is beyond the internet.
That's crazy. Why did they want to erase it? Who has an agenda against Clover's right-hand men?
All I know is that you cannot. I will.
Propaganda.
Wait, what did they say in this thing? What do they say? Hold on. I'm looking for the voices of the past calls out to me. Just wait.
Yeah, the voice of the past. Maybe it should be erased.
Oh God, yeah. The world government is the artist who erased that one guy.
The world government wanted to erase Clover, which I gotta say, man, Clover, he's looking rough in this chapter. I mean, granted, it looks like his brother just died, so I don't blame him. But damn,
I was hella confused.
Why is that?
Because when I saw this, like I like knew Clover, obviously, like I was like, there's only one
who
dude.
Clover is,
but like I thought his hair was like upwards. So when I looked at this, I was like, is this the brother? Like, does he have a brother? And then the other thing that locked it in for me is like, wait, this is 26 years ago. Like Ohara wasn't that far off, and he doesn't have full gray hair. So obviously he
went full gray pretty fast.
Yeah, and then like I had to double check, and it is underneath, and so like I unironically just stumbled. I was like, wait a second, he does have a brother. And I was like, what the heck is his name though? Like,
yeah, I'm so sorry. I know some people did leave comments on how to pronounce his name correctly. I haven't looked at them yet, so we're still gonna butcher it in this video. I apologize in advance. How do you pronounce it? Cleve?
It's just Cleve. Yeah, like.
Cleve D. Clover.
Yeah, like Glive, right?
Yeah.
Is like the English version of like that word Clive.
I can't wait till we get this and people are like, guys, you're completely wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
so Cleve D. Clover.
Listen,
okay, that's what I'm gonna go with for now then.
Yeah. Clyome's sick though.
Clyome, that's kind of how I thought, but there's like an accent on the I, so it's like I know that's not right.
Listen, like, this is one of those times being wrong sounds sick. You know what I mean? Clyome is like, whoa.
Yeah, Clyome sounds kind of nice.
I saw that and like I didn't register the D until like afterwards. I was like, Clyome is sick, bro.
You finished the chapter and you're like, wait, Clover's brother's a D? Like at the very end of the chapter, you just come back to it full circle.
I forget, like this.
That's hilarious.
These two pages were like shell shock. I don't remember how many times I paused to go back. I was like, wait, what did they say? I'm pretty sure one of the times I was like, wait, he's a D class, and because I was stuck on Clyone, my brain was like, whoa, Oda's cool, and like apparently Clyone in katakana is claw, so like there's the exact same katakana was used on Zoe. There was claws like Kurao City, and
Yeah.
that's the katakana used here. And I'm like, that's really interesting. And we could talk about all that, but like, I think something that I want to ask you, especially because Vegapunk mentioned it twice. Do you feel that Vegapunk ever met Roger?
At this point, who hasn't met Vegapunk, dude?
That's what I'm thinking is both ways. I'm thinking because there's also like I brought this up in my Nami video that there's a year gap in Roger's story. We never got Roger's backstory. We got Odin's backstory that's told us snippets of Roger. We've actually never known Roger's backstory. To this day, we don't know anything about Roger. Realistically, it's all been through Garp, Odin, like somewhat through random, like Rayleigh a little bit, but like Roger, after fighting Laughtail and before his execution, there's an entire year where he was just he
He
had a
laid
baby
seed,
mama.
but that's it. Yeah.
No, he also met Whitebeard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
For the final talk.
randomly.
I mean,
And
here's the
remember
thing though.
how
Like, you can travel a lot in a year, dude.
and he was alone. No ship, no crew. He did it on his own and he was dying.
Do you think? Okay, here's a good question. I feel like this is where you were going, but do you think that Vegapunk could have cured Roger?
That's not where I was going, but
Oh,
that's a hilarious extension of the ramification of if Vegapunk met Raj. Like in the same scope of Kuma, like searching the world. Oh my god, I need a cure. Oh no, where do I go? And everyone's like, you're shit out of luck, brother. And then he lands on Vegapunk's island. Vegapunk goes, oh, I've just invented the perfect solution for you. It's never happened before. It's 100%. Don't get me wrong, but I've never done it before. And no one else in the world
oh,
has
the Sapphire
either.
Scale thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like with Roger, imagine Vegapunk being like, nah, bro, you
Dude,
suck.
I feel like Vegapunk totally could.
No, man.
Dude, he
Imagine
cured the
Crocus goes,
gigantification of the kids. Oh, Sapphire Scales. Like, I feel like Vegapunk's just an amazing doctor, dude. Like, he could totally cure Roger.
okay, do you have respect for Roger? Like, do you like whether you
What do
like
you
him or
mean?
not? Do you think he's like a respectable character?
Yeah, I'd say so. I don't like, yeah. I'd say he's respectable.
And to give people a context, do you think Usopp's a respectable character?
I wouldn't have any respect for him.
Okay, so the reason what would you say if Roger like met Vegapunk with Crocus in tow, and Vegapunk goes, "You'll only have so many years with this solution. You really need to stay here for like 6 months." Like he tells Roger like, "You if it's give me 6 months of your time, I'll have you cured, right?" And Roger goes, "Sorry, I trust my Nakama, Crocus." And he goes with that. What would that do for your respect for Roger? Would you be like,
I
oh,
would lose a
the
lot of
6 months
respect.
yeah, I figured
Yeah,
you would. If he was just
yeah.
like cure, but like I was gonna say like Kuma was desperate, but like Roger would be desperate too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
Roger would be desperate. I mean, I feel like, I mean, we don't know a lot about, I forgot his name all of a sudden, Crocus. We don't know a lot about
mhm.
Crocus, so I feel like he would just, bend the knee, be like, yeah, Vegapunk's probably better than I am, right? Because I mean, that's kind of how
Yeah.
Chopper is, right? Chopper's like, oh, like, I'm a great doctor, but Vegapunk, different scale. And then same with Frankie. Frankie's a great shipwright, but he acknowledges that Vegapunk is better. Or not shipwright, but like, like mechanic, creationist. So I
I
feel like
want
Crocus is the exact same way.
I want Kureha to meet Crocus and then completely shit on his like Laboon project. Be like, you dummy, you quack! What are you doing to this whale? This is abuse. I'm reporting you to PETA. Like, I want Kureha to see his ass. I want to I want a measurement. You know what I mean? Like the problem is with Chopper is that he fell leagues down as a character simply because we had like to compare him against like Law, you know what I mean? Like and like and now Vegapunk, it's like the gigantification and all these things. We compare Chopper to these other doctors, and it's like, oh, he is awful. If we didn't have those comparisons, we could it would just be in a bubble. We're
And then
like,
we even
oh
have the
damn,
SBS where Oda's like, yeah, Chopper can't cure the smile devil fruits
yeah,
yet. He said yet, like, oh, it's like the perhaps thing. Oda put the yet there for Chopper. So Chopper, he's not 100% yet. We got to give him time.
yeah,
Still young.
yeah. It is
I mean,
interesting. So, no, what are you saying?
oh, I was about to say, like, going back to what you said earlier, though, like, the whole thing with all these old heads knowing each other. Like, we don't know if Kureha knows about Crocus, but I feel like there's like 100% chance they do. I'm sure they know, like, Rayleigh, Shaki, even Zeph, who makes an appearance in this chapter during the Vegapunk Ohara part. I feel like he probably knew Clover and Vegapunk. Like, when it comes to these characters that are older, I feel like they know each other. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. I've always wondered if Roger had met Vegapunk on his, because like when we talk about the incurable stuff, and then like you said, we're meeting a guy who's just like that's not in his vocabulary, and he existed in that world, and like what could stop Roger from going there? Right, Clover, my man Clover. How many times this guy captured? Walks a solo dolo up to the like most important, most like financially like sunk character in the Navy, and you're telling me like Roger broke into Big
But
Mom's place.
here's the thing: like, what if Roger was just, he was ready to die? Like, he's made his peace with it. He didn't want to cure at that point.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I see him.
So I agree with that. I like that's why I was thinking like, what if he just did like a Nakama thing, right? But the larger thing is, we know that 26 years ago, Vegapunk is now, at least from what we know, made aware of the D, like the D clan and the ramifications, the unfairness. This connects to what he said like last chapter about like how he prays for people, like he pities, essentially paraphrasing what he said, he pities people who carry the burden of the D clan. And then we get this chapter where Clover tells him just for having the D name, his older brother was shot and killed. And at this point, Vegapunk's not researching the Void Century. We don't think that he has context that much about it. And from here on out, up until Ohara, it makes you wonder how many things changed or what he experienced in that timeline to get to that Ohara situation. Obviously, Kuma's in between that, right? In between this and Ohara, right? Is like no, Kuma happens later, right? Kuma
Yeah.
happens like 4 or 5 years ago. So he doesn't know about Nika, all that stuff. But we do know at Ohara, one of the things that he said to Dragon is don't lose sight of the goal. He said that to Dragon at Ohara, and they both knew Clover. And it's like, wait, what preordained goal did you have with Dragon? Like, how does that make sense? And we do know that at one point Dragon tried to hire him, which you would think that would be before the Navy, because Dragon didn't like, he found out that Vegapunk was in the Navy afterwards. So it's like all that context makes you wonder, like, who did Vegapunk meet after this moment, and to Ohara to like add context to what his like conclusion was by then. And I wonder, like, Roger would be like a really interesting character to have like inserted there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because you could insert Roger as a character who sought him out specifically because he needed to get like medicine, right? You could have that Roger, or because Oda did his very like, that's why I keep saying the timeline's super important. You could have the Roger after Laugh Tale just show up and for some reason tell Vegapunk something, and it could be that like that's partially how Vegapunk knows that Laugh Tale, the One Piece, is the history, that the Roger Pirates knew all this stuff, because Roger could have told him something that Vegapunk could have like figured out, like, oh, the only way he would have known that without seeing all the poneglyphs, I have Ohara, he never talked to Clover, he didn't talk to Dragon. If you figure all that out and you cut it off, the only thing that he has that we don't was the One Piece. And then it's like, oh, okay, based off of, what he's saying in this chapter and the previous chapter, is that the history stuff is super important. And I wonder if like Roger maybe told him about like ancient weapon stuff. You know what I mean? Like it could be that.
Or could another thing that could happen is that Roger could have came here and be like, hey, Vegapunk, I need to know, like, how would have happened? Like, maybe there's something that took place in the past that Roger just didn't understand. So he came to Vegapunk and asked a certain question about the history, like, hey, like hypothetically, how would this work, or how would this go down, or how would this work in the future, or something like that. And then maybe Roger got the answer from Vegapunk. Vegapunk started getting curious, and then Vegapunk's like, hey, you're gonna die, you want a cure? And then Roger's like, nope, made my peace, I'm good.
Yeah, and it's like it's interesting because it seems like for we don't know how included the world government would have been like as an ulterior motive for Vegapunk, right? When it came to Kuma situation, Kuma came in, I have a daughter who's sick. Vegapunk goes, okay, I'll do it for you. If you give me your blood and I can use you as a clone. That ultimately ended up lining up with what Saturn wanted anyways. But Vegapunk wanted that on his own too. And so he's like the kind of guy who barters also. And that's, as irrelevant as the conversation was, I did bring this up. I was like, I wonder if that's when the dragon egg that Roger had like changed hands. Maybe that's when it happened. Like at some point, like Roger's like, this egg is super important. Vegapunk, you need to hatch this egg or something. I don't know. It's super weird because you would think like, would you leave that? Would you leave that egg with like Rayleigh? You know what I mean? Like, who would you leave that egg with? Would you leave that egg with like Odin on Wano? I don't know. But the point being is that like there's a lot of interesting threads that I feel like Oda's still like weaving in this moment. And the fact that 2 pages alone can do so much like reflection on those moments is crazy to me because like I would have expected like me to be thinking about like an entire chapter, but Oda was just like, Clover's a D-clan, he has an older brother. Oh, and by the way, that older brother, I think like a lot of us already think that could be Robin's dad. That fits in kind of cool. That's that. And then the logo, that's really cool. What about Roger? What about this message? Why is Vegapunk reiterating Roger twice?
Real quick, but as far as Clover's brother being Robin's dad, I've seen some people push back on that because Clover's so damn old, and like Robin's so damn young at this point. But the thing with that is like we don't know if it's a younger brother, older brother, twin brother. Like for all we know, like, he could have been like much younger. Oh, never mind. He said big brother. I'm stupid. He said big brother.
He said big brother, but like,
yeah, never mind.
Like, but Big Mom like has like what are we? She's like
I don't
80
know.
and having kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and dudes don't have the biological clock. So as far as that goes, as long as Olvia,
how old was Olvia at this point? Actually,
bro, Olvia was the only thing that really straight up fucks me up about Olvia is it's
33.
It's the same voice actor as Robin, right? So it's like it's just weird, like in a scene where they're together, right? Where it wasn't it in the Onigashima thing,
Clover's
right?
85 and Olvia's 33, so that means that that means that the brother was pushing like 50 on her.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, okay, never mind. That might be a little bit strange.
Hold on.
But
hold on.
Go for it.
How old is Hina?
Hina?
Yeah.
All right. I'm like the age guy now. Let me look it up. One Piece Hina. Hina is 72.
Hina?
Oh, One Piece Hina. One Piece Hina. One Piece Hina.
Who did you look up?
One Piece Hina is 34.
Okay. Do you think Hina would pass up Garp? She's kind of all over his ass. We saw there's like an anime scene where she's just like slumped over and looking at his ass, dude. I'm like Garp he has the monkey gene. He's like he is the Rizzler, bro. If there was any character packing heat right now, it is Garp. Garp could make a nation. The hero of the Marines looking like that, dude. You can't tell me Suru hasn't stopped like grandchildren from like procreate. Like, hey, don't stop that. Don't you know how old he is?
Wait. Okay, wait.
This is actually canon.
Wait.
Chapter 905. 905. This people are gonna. I like Garp, But this line is crazy. He goes, someone asks him, no, Shirahoshi, I think, asks him, like, wait, why is everyone going so crazy? Oh, no, Neptune asks Garp, why is everyone going crazy over Shirahoshi? And then he goes, the lore of Shirahoshi is that her beauty rivals Boa. And then he references the fact that she's super young, like she's 16. But then he goes, and on top of that, she's really big. I think that she might beat her. And I'm like, wow. Saying Shirahoshi beats Boa as Garp is crazy.
Which it's insane because I think Boa's way better.
Yeah, and listen, like this is he's all I'm saying is that Clover's older brother and Olvia is not that crazy when you think about it.
I don't think it's that crazy. And to be fair, it makes sense in a way. It explains why, like, you know, Robin's at Ohara in the first place. You know, it explains why Olvia had such an obsession with the Void Sentry as well. Like, I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah. And One Piece age, like, Clover could be busted. We don't know how his older brother looked, though. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he shows up looking like Shanks or something.
No,
I mean,
dude, he's not, man. He's a Clover. He's gonna look as silly as Glaive here, Clave.
All right, hold on. Let's take what example do we have that like can substantiate this?
Like
Rosinante and Doflamingo both are kind of good.
Like I was kind of thinking of like Noland, right? Because Noland has the chestnut and then Cricket gets the chestnut. Since they're both part of the Clover family, I feel like Clover's brother looks just like him, with like maybe slightly different facial features.
And Dragon.
That's father and son.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, but they're both monkey. I mean, you just brought up Nolan and their great.
I was talking about distinguishing features, though.
All right, the chestnut at like
the chestnut thing for me was like saying that Clover and his brother both have the silly haircut.
You know, that does bring up something, right? Like Nolan's a D-clan. Like there has to be, right?
Nolan, 100%. I mean, it's not confirmed, but like 99% sure he's gonna be D-clan.
Yeah, we're just gonna find out, right? Like, yeah, there's no shot.
Yeah, there's no shot he's not one, right? Like even the Tontatos love Nolan, dude. They had a little statue of him. His legacy's there, man.
Yeah.
You know, as you know, speaking of which, going back to how silly Clover and his brother's hair could be, makes it even funnier that the world government let him go because he was like, "Oh, I'm just his friend. I'm just this guy's friend." And it really makes me like, imagine Clover's brother has the same haircut, and then they believe it. They're like, "Oh, you mean
I forgot about that.
You're not related? You're just friends?"
Okay, I'm just a friend.
Like, just imagine, dude. No way. I mean, and when you think about it, the world government has been very thorough. Like with Ohara and all these other events, they've tried to have been. So I'm surprised they didn't just kill Clover by association. But I guess it kind of goes back to what Vegapunk said. Like, oh, they let you go so that, you know, we can capture you later. You know, we can rat out your home. So I guess that's fair. But even then, I feel like it'd just be easier to just kill Clover right there.
Okay. Sanji and Ichiji. If you saw both of them, are they siblings?
Yes. They got the eyebrows. What are you talking about?
The eyebrows, right? It's just the eyebrows.
Eyebrows and the height. They got the same build.
Yeah.
They're literally the same person with different hair.
I'm just saying that, like, what if Clover's brother showed up with, like, purple hair? What you're saying substantially is what I said earlier about, like, they had to look different. There's no way this situation makes sense.
Imagine, dude, you know what would be such a great gag? It's if it's like the Bonnie and Queen Connie gag where Clover pops up and then they're like, "Hey, Professor Clover." And they're like, "No, I'm the brother." Like, imagine that. Like, that's how similar they look. And then the government still got them messed up.
Dude,
that'll be silly.
We're only friends. It's like, oh, and then they ask him, it's like, I admire him so much. I got the same haircut. We go to the same barber.
Yeah, we go to the same barber. Please don't kill me.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's a little bit goofy.
It is, but, you know, yeah.
You know, I'm looking at Clover yelling, and I gotta admit, dude, he kind of reminds me of Jupiter. Like, erase the face and just look at the mustache and the beard and the teeth, and then it's just Jupiter in the worm
I was trying to say
transformation.
Cobra.
Really?
Not the screaming one, but the one on the right of the I'm just a friend.
I
though.
see that. I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I meant more so like just the screaming panel because like of how black his mustache and beard are. Like literally
Yeah.
just put eyes on that and then it's Jupiter in the worm form.
So, segueing into something.
Jupiter. Wait. One last thing. First page. Isn't it kind of scary that a number's looking down on them from the gate? Isn't that horrifying?
I thought that was just like their symbol. I guess you're
dude.
right.
I think that's a
probably just
number. Brago's the one who gave me that answer, by the way, because I was lost. It was so scary, dude. Like, I mean, I'm not easily freaked out, but this feels like one of those Shudder moments where, you know, like you look at a picture and then you look at it again and there's like a ghost
Yeah.
there. That's what this is.
that is kind of scary.
Yeah.
But on a separate thing, I think that this all substantiates that old theory that I had about like Shaka being Clover. And I liked it because the Shaka was or Clover was shot in the head just like Shaka, and like Shaka was in the like he's the Will of Ohara chapter and everything. But now because at the time I didn't know that Vegapunk and him were like this, you know what I mean? Like I didn't know
how
that
we say like this, but the entire time Vegapunk's dissing him and ignoring him.
Yeah, but like this is like like you're right. But what Clover is to Vegapunk is like the scabbards to Orochi. Like Clover said this and said the voices of the past call out to you. Just wait.
Oh yeah. Like it haunts him at night.
Yeah, and then all of that was true. He was right to the point. It was like Ohara was 22 years ago. They were gone. He hasn't been here, and he's been
What a
carrying
silly
the will.
relation. You're like, oh yeah, Vegapunk's like Orochi. Just every night he thinks of
He gets
Clover.
haunted.
Just
Yeah,
haunted
I
by the
mean-
voices of the past. The void centuries calling to him.
I mean, like
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
but see, like the guilt part is like realistically, right?
Yeah.
This is where the story is kind of funny because like I'm saying the guilt thing, and I'm like it'd be kind of weird if Vegapunk had the guilt because in this scenario, it's not like Vegapunk could prevent Ohara
No.
because so like he shouldn't have guilt for not siding with them.
Oh yeah.
He was right.
He was
Like,
right to
that's-
not side with them, and even if he did, we saw that Saturn was able to eavesdrop into the Kuma thing. So if Vegapunk said yes, Vegapunk would have been dead the next day. Like he
Yeah.
would have been so cooked.
You know what? It could be that this is the moment that the Gorosei found out that they were because Ohara was being investigated
Yeah.
for the Void Century stuff. It wasn't confirmed until they got to the island. And so they didn't have anything substantial. Even after the Ophia stuff, they were heavily suspected it, but they didn't have anything substantial until they landed there. And then they had the thing. And then Clover didn't even try to hide it. He just he straight up started theory crafting on the
Dude,
spot.
you know what's funny? Something I've been thinking about recently is that, you know how like Clover's like, oh, the name of the ancient kingdom is, and then they shot him? Imagine he would have gotten it wrong. Like he was completely wrong. And they just killed him anyways.
Because
we have no idea.
At the end of the day, they just need to wipe out everyone who's listening. They weren't. It's not like admirals were listening, right? The CP agents, they
can barely get out of a box, dude.
Yeah, like
they can't get out of an unlocked room.
If it were me, I would have waited half a second and then just told them to kill them. Same scenario, and then like Akainu coming in, explode them, like just end it,
done.
just end it there. That's
it.
it. You know, yeah, like wait, and then. But the thing is, it's even funnier if they got it wrong because then maybe they could have kept them and made fun of them like Nolan. You know what I mean? Like, haha, he thinks it's at the bottom of the. Well, no, actually, Nolan's kind of funny because it's like, he's kind of cooking with his.
Dude, imagine instead of the demons of Ohara, Like they did what you did, where you don't kill them, you just make fun of them. They'd be the jokesters of Ohara.
Yeah, like
the
like
jokesters. Look at these guys. They'll leave in the D clan, the Void Sentry. What is that? That'd
but
be
now that I
hilarious,
think about
man.
it, like this interaction, like I said, like it's super packed. Where it's like
Oh, it's
Saturn could have
big.
been listening. He could have been. This could have been the moment.
Imagine that
And
Saturn behind the gate too. He's just like, just looking down at him. It's just Saturn up there.
he's like they'll think I'm a numbers.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how to wiretap yet. I still don't
No,
have
and
that technology.
the best part is when he's in his form, he looks lobotomized like he's basically a numbers like visually he looks stupid.
Yeah. You know what? None of the other Gorosei have done that where they just look lobotomized, right?
No, because they
Well,
don't have
Warkity just doesn't talk though. That's a little bit different.
no, but it's also different because they don't have their face on their form. Saturn is the only one with the face on the form, other than Nasujiro, but his is made for the face. Like he's a centaur, so it's like
It kind of reminds you of like whenever you play like a JRPG and you fight a version of God, and
Yeah.
whenever you fight God, they always have like a face that doesn't change and doesn't move or react. I've noticed that. So maybe Saturn is like broken because of that.
Yeah,
Maybe
Oda's
that's what
taking
he's
notes
trying to
from-
achieve.
Yeah.
That state of divinity.
Hey, Sanji saw it. He said
Hopefully you
there's
guys know what I'm
something in
talking
those
about.
eyes. Sanji was just like, "Yo, those eyes are not human."
Yeah, hopefully we have some JRPG enjoyers in here so I don't sound like an absolute lunatic.
I'm sure we do.
Yeah, I'm sure we do.
The world is vast and wide, just like the One Piece world. And
This is a good chapter, man.
I was surprised.
Have you?
And also,
Yeah.
like this chapter came off of a weird transition. I feel like a lot of the chapters have been transitioning well into the next one. This one was Emeth, the time is now, straight into Punk Hazard, and it's like, wait, wait, what? How did we do that?
Yeah, a little bit of a whiplash.
Yeah.
The thing with Clover, Cleome, however we even pronounce his name, he who is badly named. Have you looked into like what his name means, like the Sword of Light thing?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I feel like there's a lot there. Like the one story is what it's called, the werewolf tale. Yeah. They got like wizards and like lost lovers, and it's like, damn, dude, like Oda could be dropping something here.
Yeah, now that Oda opened the like canonically, this is not only the first time, but like yeah, dropping the Irish like that connection is like massive because there's so much that like interrelates with like Norse mythology and Greek mythology that like a lot of people have been theorizing Irish based theories, but they're like you can't substantiate it like the Norse stuff. The Norse stuff, it's like there wasn't a lot to go off of, but it's obvious that it's there because Oda's Viking stuff, Elbaf, like Shanks, like there's so many things there that you could just tie back to Norse mythology. And obviously the Greek stuff, the ancient weapons, all that stuff, but the Irish stuff is like this in-between one that shares. For example, I knew of this sword, I didn't remember the name per se because the spelling is super interesting, and even if I had seen this before, I probably wouldn't even have pronounced it the same way. The one that I saw, and I brought up on streams when we had the Gorosei revealed, so like chapter like 1060, what was Saturn? 1072 or something like that. Whenever he got Saturn revealed and his name is revealed, I was thinking that his cane thing was the Caldabalg, and that's
that'd be cool.
It's a similar sword to the Cleome in the sense of it shares a similar like origin story, but the difference there, I mean, shares a similar like area of origin, not origin story. But the main thing is that in some lore, that Caldabalg thing was a sword gifted by Saturn, like the god Saturn from like Greek mythology, the equivalent in like Irish mythology, made and gifted it to some Irish hero or whatever, and it was used in like the Trojan War, and there was like replicas made of it that were wooden or something like that. And so I was like, oh damn, that'd be sick if that was his sword. And then I immediately like stopped thinking about it like that because then the Gorosei pulled out the fucking guns, and I was like, all right, never mind.
Hey, it's still possible, man. I'm gonna say it right here. I am still kind of holding on to my Saturn stocks. This guy's gonna look phenomenal.
Hey, he tried this chapter, right? It was this chapter he tried?
Wait. Next chapter, he's gonna go insane.
Yeah, I hope. I hope.
So going on to the third page, we are now 22 years in the past, 4 years since the first two. And it turns out that Ohara just happened. Caesar laughing up a storm, dude. He said they finally got that archaeologist Clover. And he's even dancing in the next... He's busting the Sun God Nika in the next panel. Like, he's so happy.
Yeah, I don't even know why he would be like so spiteful of Clover.
Yeah,
that doesn't even make sense.
You know, I was a little bit disappointed in Caesar actually, because he was talking about how like, oh, that's what happens when you look into the Void Century. No one's gonna make that mistake again. And as a scientist, I was very disappointed because it's like, damn, dude, like Caesar's not a little bit curious. Like that's kind of crazy.
Saturn. He takes after Saturn. That's why.
Yeah, maybe he's met Saturn and he's like, hey, if my bosses don't want me to do this, I'm not gonna do it. It's kind of like, you know, like not crossing Big Mom, not crossing Kaido. He's like, you know what? Hey, Clover, what an idiot. But
the irony is that we know that Caesar doesn't have pull like that because he literally was like, the reason why he was doing all his underground research and the weapon stuff was like, I want to become the world government's like love child. Like they like Vegapunk, they never give me chance. And it's like, so we know that he doesn't have that pull. And
hey, not yet. The age of Caesar is dawning. So as far as the age of Caesar goes, do you think he's going to look into the Void Century now that Vegapunk has died? Because it took Clover's death for Vegapunk to look into it. And now that Vegapunk has died, and we saw that Caesar was beaten up about it, do you think that Caesar would, like, pursue it? Because that's what Vegapunk was doing.
Have we seen Neomads react to the message? I'm forgetting.
We've seen Caesar react, but not Judge.
Gotcha. That's
and Caesar was, like, crying, I think. Let me go back and look for it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's interesting because I think Judge was the one working with Vegapunk to get into the lineage factor stuff. That was how they took this step into the god realm. Like, it seems like, as far as scientists goes, Judge was the closest, and it seems like Vegapunk probably stepped towards it. But when it comes to researching the stuff, like, Judge already kind of referenced, like, history, you know? Like, the whole Germa kingdom has a lot of lore in the first place, so... it could be that Caesar looks at Germa's history with Judge, and maybe that that could give a lot of nuance to the Void Century that may not exist anywhere else, and that would be really interesting, honestly.
Yeah,
if there was like a Vince Smoke's angle, you know, like a specific, not Vince Smoke angle specifically, but Germa angle specifically, you know.
Yeah, it could explain the Germa bird too. I mean, they're also part of the world government at one point, so.
Yeah, and then also, the Garuda is their like symbol, but then also their ship is called Saint Germain. That's their ship. So where does the Saint name come in? That's kind of important. A lot of people like that's like a super hidden detail, but yeah, Saint Germain, I'm pretty sure, is the name of their flagship. And it's like, why was it Saint and why is it Germain? Like, isn't that kind of interesting?
And it's like, it would be nice if they did. I feel like if Judge, imagine Judge, Caesar, and then I still don't know what's gonna happen to Lilith. We'll talk about her here in a little bit, but if she joins as like a proxy Vegapunk, it would be kind of big.
Yeah.
Also, I got the panel right here. Caesar's crying, and he says,
"What was the context?"
So Vegapunk says, I believe that I will soon be executed for my transgressions, so this message will be programmed to be broadcast the second my heart stops beating. And then we see Germa Kingdom. We see like the main castle. Wow. Yeah. And then Caesar says, I refuse to accept this. That lying bastard. You can't just die. We just teamed up so we can surpass you. And then we see Caesar crying, and then in the background, Judge looks angry. So if they want to surpass Vegapunk, I mean, Vegapunk died trying to figure out the truth of the world. I feel like the only way to beat him is to one-up him in that regards. Or, I guess, make a better Seraphim weapon, maybe, but...
Mother Flame.
Yeah, make like a perfected mother flame. That would be a good way to do it. But either way, like if they want to one up Vegapunk, I feel like they're gonna have to do something he couldn't do.
It gets interesting too because part of where they reacted is pre-message. Basically, they didn't hear
Yeah.
any. We didn't get any reaction of them. We know they're listening, but we don't know how they're reacting to the meat of the conversation.
Yeah. They just reacted to the like literally it was 11:13, so it's like the beginning of the message. Just hey,
Yeah.
this happens when I die.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if next chapter we might get like a return of their context. I think as far as characters who can provide context that aren't part of the main cast, they are top tier, high priority
Yeah.
characters, 100%. Like Judge specifically, but Mads also.
I hate how you leave Caesar out. You say Judge specifically as if Caesar, my man, isn't there.
It's just
You're
crazy
talking about
because
gangster Gastino, dude.
like Judge was a bit like Judge was there. You know what I mean? Like the world government had it was Judge and Vegapunk, and Caesar wasn't even in the conversation. And then Caesar's just this like bastard child inside Punk Hazard that like blows themselves up and then sneaks back in, and they still don't like him. Like it's just crazy. He's doing free labor at that point. He just wanted recognition. They couldn't even toss him that. You know how
hate to see
crazy it would have
man.
been that like Caesar had to go to Big Mom for funding that the world government wanted to get done. And like Caesar was doing like imagine if the world government had what Kaido like without Caesar, Kaido's operation was like debilitated in the scope of like the waiters and pleasures, whatever. Like there was a huge a decent amount of gravity towards those characters showing up because it's like yeah they're fodder, but like they were like if they showed in mass to like Zoe, they were kind of scary. You add that they're partial Zoans, it's like wait, that's crazy. If the world government had that, they would love Caesar, but like they just like
kicked him to the curb. I mean, the thing with the pleasurers too, or not just the pleasurers, the gifters, is that they're stronger than the Wano samurai. Like if Tama wasn't there, they would have been cooked.
Yeah. And it's also ironic because CP0 was going to the source and they didn't give they didn't go flying. Like it was
I mean, but the thing with Caesar's smile fruits is that like it had such a low success rate though that it's kind of not worth it.
It's like yes and no, because it's like yes, but like what if Saturn, godhead of science, with like Bonnie's fruit in tow, like you know what I mean? Like you couldn't tell me that Caesar couldn't have been helpful to. I guess they had Vegapunk, you know, but like, what's wrong with two? You know?
Well, Caesar also caused a giant poisonous gas explosion on Punk Hazard.
But they like that kind of stuff.
They had to evacuate the whole island.
But like they don't care.
But it still costs money, and it's still an inconvenience caused by your scientist.
I guess that's true. But what about before that? Why did they look at Caesar? Because you know, because this started conversation was that you always leave Caesar out. That I leave Caesar out of the conversation.
You do,
I
man.
The world government. The world government's leaving Caesar out.
The world government brought Caesar on. They didn't bring Judge on.
No, Vegapunk brought Caesar on.
But here's the thing. It's because he sees Caesar's potential. And we're talking about the world's smartest man here.
Yeah, but 1069, Vegapunk agrees with Nami that he's an what was the word?
After the explosion.
An abomination.
After the explosion, he said, this guy's an abomination. It's
Can we
after
go back
the fact. And
how did Vegapunk survive?
How did Vegapunk survive the poisonous gas? I bet Caesar carried him out, dude.
That's an awesome conspiracy theory. There's something there. It doesn't make sense, right? Like, look at this dude. We see him right here. He's not mobile like that. You're telling me ground zero explosion? Like, in the flashback that Caesar gave, Vegapunk was standing, like, right there.
It's a giant poisonous gas explosion. I feel like Caesar definitely saved him. Because I mean, you see how sad Caesar is when Vegapunk dies. So as goofy and genocidal as Caesar is, he still has like the people he actually cares about. And I feel like Vegapunk is one of them. Not because he loves Vegapunk or he's like the best friend of him and they're having Sunday brunch together, but it's like competition. He's like Aizen, right? He just wants competition. That's all he wants in the world.
Saying that about Caesar, and then we have like York and her planning. He's like, Vegapunk, you have the same thought processes as the main ones, right, York? And York's like, about that. Like,
yeah.
York is great. Yeah. Okay, how about that? Like, do you think there's a world where Shaka is Caesar?
No, I'm gonna be quite honest. I don't think Shaka's designed after anybody.
Oh, you don't think we'll ever get it revealed?
No.
Nah. Oda likes masks.
Yeah, I think Shaka might just be like full, like not full robotic, but I just don't think we'll see the face.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's cool too.
Yeah,
that's cool too. Here's another question. I think it's messed up that Vegapunk goes. He's like, look, he knows the context of Ohara. And he's looking at Robin's poster and he goes, oh, it looks like some brat survived. That's crazy, right?
No, that's Caesar saying it, right?
Is it? Oh, it is Caesar.
Okay. Yeah, Vegapunk's hitting us with the ... Dude, if Vegapunk said, look, a brat survived, the world government didn't do a good enough job. That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy. Yeah, I missed not that I missed the ... I probably registered that while I read it.
Yeah.
But like, or the live reaction, but when I was rereading, I was like, wait, did Vegapunk say that? That's crazy.
That'd be hilarious.
Man.
Yeah.
You know what? You know why I think is because his eyes. Like, his face does not look like he has any care. He looks disgusted, right? Does that face...
No, he looks sad.
Really?
Yeah, to me at least. Yeah, he looks kind of sad in that picture.
You know what it is? It might be the way, because this isn't the officials yet. Like the way the eye is shaded, it looks like he's like like it has like a faint like gray in it. You know?
I could see what you mean. Yeah.
How about this? Do you think Vegapunk ever tried to find Robin?
Has he tried to find Robin? No, probably not.
No.
I mean, because, you gotta remember, the guy's with the world government at this point. Like, they're eavesdropping in on almost everything he does. So I bet if he finds Robin, they're just gonna kill her.
It's interesting.
What does he do? Like, find Robin, bring her back to Egghead? Oh shoot, she got shot.
You say that, but, like, he vacationed to Elbaf. And was able to read all of the books.
Yeah, but
they never said that he
bring her back home,
reader.
though. Like, so, I mean, okay, let's say hypothetically he finds Robin. What does he do with her?
Put her on Elbaf like all the other Ohara stuff.
But I mean, she's getting by, dude. Like, it looks like she's got her thing going on. Yeah, man. Like, she's over here jumping from underground organization to another. Like, yeah, she's fine.
That's a crazy.
She's getting by.
Like, I'm imagining Lucci like counterpart chasing her entire life, and like someone's just like, you know what? Dang, like I wonder what Robin's. And then Lucci goes, she's getting by.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a better question. Why put this on Vegapunk? Do you think Saul ever looked for Robin?
Saul, we don't know when he got out of those bandages. Realistically,
it doesn't matter, dude.
It's a buster call.
Yeah, it's a buster call. It must have taken 20 years to come back. So Saul just recently was able to start moving again, actually.
Nah, what's crazy is that we know that like 5 days later at when Dragon and Vegapunk, Saul was already thawed out, covered in bandages, and he called the
homeboys.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine if so Saul was able to get the giants to mobilize on Ohara. Do you think he could have called like multiple giants to look for Robin? Because at the end of the day, she was like at the entrance of the Grand Line.
But they couldn't because she was Miss Sunday.
Hidden. So you think they wouldn't be able to find her?
Impossible.
Impossible. Blasphemous. Yeah.
Oh God.
There needs to be like we talk about what ifs. We need a what if Robin went to Elbaf.
Yeah, what if Saul did something? Like, what if Saul wasn't a retcon? Like,
Yeah.
how much would One Piece change if Saul like was? Oh, not let's take it back. What if the Giants were always this strong? How about that? How about the two like
Oh my
hooligans?
God! What if the Giants are always this strong? I think Luffy would have died on Little Garden
Yo,
because he fought Dory for a second, and
yeah,
Dory
yeah,
like
because
actually hit Luffy. So if Dory was as strong as he is now back then, dude, Luffy would have been cooked.
cooked. Yeah, because
Sent to
Dory.
the
Oh yeah,
ocean,
because
died,
yeah,
drowned.
and of all the misunderstandings, like that was the realest misunderstanding. Dory was poisoned with explosives, and
Yeah,
the only food he had gotten was like from Luffy. That's like the most
he was
clearest.
bloodlusted. That was a
Yeah,
bloodlusted giant. Come on,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, and like, and I don't wasn't the context like Dory also just wanted to fight Brogy because the volcano exploded too, and then Luffy tried to keep the fight going, and then Dory put his ass down. He like put a tree on top of him, something like
Um,
that.
I forgot.
I think it's something like that. Like once the volcano exploded, Luffy tried to stop him, and then he's like, "No, I've been fighting this for 100 years, not to."
And then I think Brogy said the same thing. I know Brogy wanted to fight too, because Dory was like, "You're not
Yeah,
looking so good," and he's like, "Oh, I've never been better." He's like, "What can I say? I had a great meal before this." He's like on the verge of death.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But if they were this strong always,
the Straw
like,
Hats would have been
yeah,
done right there.
yeah, yeah. Saul would have soloed Ohara. Like Saul, and he lifted up like one of the ships and like tossed it too. So like he was strong. Oda just didn't give him like everything.
I mean, that's just like classic shonen though. Like if the villains
Yeah,
were
yeah, yeah,
competent, like the main characters would have been dead like long before. Like if I was
yeah,
Axe Head Morgans or Helmeppo, I would have killed Zoro while he was tied up. I would have just shot him. Like it's well, he can't do anything, right? Zoro was
yeah.
begging Luffy, or
Arlong.
not begging, but Zoro was like, Luffy, hurry up, get these off. They're gonna hit us. We're pretty far into this, but we're only on the 4th page.
Oh, the next pages are a breeze.
Yeah, so we got Zeph, Patty, Robin reacting. Tequila Wolf. I mean, they're still doing their thing over there, man. That's so crazy to see.
Ow! Didn't Dragon raid this place when they got
Yeah, I mean, somebody said that
Robin?
it's just one like Dragon only saved one encampment out of the many others. But the thing is, like, we only know of one encampment, so it's like I feel like they just
Also, it's a
repopulated it.
bridge.
Yeah, it's a
a
bridge.
bridge.
Like, there's not like there's a group over here in the middle of the bridge for no reason. Like, I just imagine they only work at the end of it because they already have the start of it done. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
but then again, we don't know too much about Tequila Wolf. But I mean, if Dragon just defeated and saved the camp one day, I feel like they just came back the next. Kind of like King Bakori, right? King Bakori was
But it's
defeated
the
by
same
Dragon and he
guy.
came back.
Is it not the same guy?
Yeah, it's the
that
same
is-
guy. I mean,
Yeah.
Dude, Dragon let King Bakori go. Dude, Dragon needs to start killing people. He's like
No,
Batman.
no. King McCoy's a little different because at least they were like, I don't know. They like he was actually like, I guess it could.
See, the thing is like, Luffy. I get why Oda doesn't make it to where Luffy kills people because he's the MC, right? In
Yeah.
Japan, there's that stigma. You don't want your main characters to necessarily kill characters if you're a shonen. Sure, why not? Why not? But for Dragon, though, like the revolutionary, he doesn't kill King Bakori. King Bakori came back. Kuma had to deal with them. If Kuma wasn't there, King Bakori would be the king of Sorbet Kingdom once again. For these guys, too, like the people who are whipping the slaves, it's like, you couldn't kill this guy? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have put him down. So we cut back up to the Labo phase, and we see that Zoro and Jinbei have now arrived aboard the Thousand Sunny. They want to take off, but Lilith says, no, good, we can't. And it's kind of crazy because it's like last we saw Zoro and, Venus were clashing. Jinbei was like not even close by. Like, Jinbei had to throw him over there. But
Yeah.
now, like, they managed to get a leg up on Venus, which is pretty cool. We're not too sure how it happened. It could have been from the clash. Maybe they both got sent flying back afterwards. But yeah, nice to see that Zoro's here. And we see that the Thousand Sunny can't exactly take off because Venus is just going to hit him. It's going to hit the ship from off the clouds. So they need to do something about Venus before they can leave. And that is when we see Atlas show up and hit Lilith from behind, snaps her neck, and essentially turns off her GPS. And that's it. I mean, Like, what do you think about this whole sequence? And then York eats it up too. York says, yo, Lilith's access has been severed. Atlas is the only one left. She believes it.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about the goofy part of this in the stream. And this goes back to why we expended so much more time on the first two pages than this, because it's very obvious that like this sequence is it was gonna happen one way or the other. Oda, like whether the details of this are important, like we could sit here all day and say like Oda could have added a few panels to make this more coherent, but was it the TCB editor came in on the stream and I was like kind of like confused about the whole sequence, and then they're like, oh Par, you missed like Atlas reached behind Lilith's head and snapped the thing, and I was like, wait, so like if that was the case, then she didn't need to punch Lilith in the first place, she just need to break that thing, and she could just do that for herself too. And then is that all that's needed, or is it double? But we don't know the context. So like Oda could add context and make this make sense. But at the moment, it's like whether you take it as like she like I think the TCB editor is right. The important thing was snapping that headset off, and that's what York ate up, right? And even if we were to take that, sure, disconnect. It's like, is York really buying that? Like, isn't the whole point of the Vegapunks like what Mars said? It's like, hey, don't you have the same neural circuitry and logic abilities as the other? This isn't Stella. This is Wrath. York can't figure out like what they're doing. Like, this is like the prime moment for like the most not non One Piece thing, but like almost like we don't normally get this in One Piece, where it's like a Lelouch Light Yagami, Light versus L kind of moment where York is just like, wait a second, their transponders went off, but wait, it was too quick. That's kind of suspicious. If I was Alice, what would I do? Oh my god, Alice beat like, you know what I mean? Oh, you know what else I could do to verify this? Hey, Nosujuro,
Easily.
did you attack them? And he's like, no, they've been beating my ass this whole time. And she's like, huh? What did Alice do? Oh, you mean that giant girl? Yeah, she beat up your clone. And then she's like, aha, I figured it out. They're lying to, you know
And
what I mean?
then
There's like 9 levels to how
yeah,
they
and
could
then
have
even
figured
going
this
to
out.
last chapter, they're like, oh, you know, York has a GPS device on all of us. She can track us. Wouldn't she find it odd that Atlas's GPS went up to Lilith and then that's when Lilith's turned off? So like, so what does she think? Like, oh, friendly fire happened, right? Like, oh, like obviously your Atlas killed her. Haha. It's like, no, that
Like,
doesn't, you know, I kind of just surmise it to York not thinking this through.
uh, it's a rough, tough. It's like PTS, not PTS. That's rough. That's a extreme statement, but it goes back to the traitor arc of Egghead, where we at the time we were so enveloped in it that we thought that this was a main thing of the arc, and then as soon as that was over, we got the Gorosei, we got Emu, we got the Revs, we got so many other things that were just so much more important than Egghead in the traitor situation. Lilith being the mastermind of that was so minuscule in the grand scheme of things. It still doesn't matter realistically. Like it could have been, I don't know, but the point is like the explanation of how she executed that plan still doesn't make sense. We talked about it before. How did she, like, she still doesn't understand. She's like, wait, Stella knew this whole time? And like, so like, I don't know. There's so many things to York. The only thing that I can maybe think about, what Oda didn't put it in, is like maybe she had to go to the bathroom, like in between,
Yeah, maybe,
or like
she went to the
eating.
bathroom. She's just put the headset back on.
Like she fell asleep.
Yeah, she
You
fell
know,
asleep. She doesn't exactly like, you know what's happening.
like
That could
how
be it.
crazy would that be if like this is kind of like her interview to become a celestial dragon, or like the Gorosei to like her, but like she's cursed by the eat poop sleep cycle. So while the Gorosei like, York, we need your help, York's just like sleeping or shitting herself, or
Yeah.
eating, and it's like, hold on, I need to eat. Oh man, that would be that would be I could accept that, but we didn't get that. So, at
Yeah,
the
I mean, the
moment.
thing is, if York becomes a celestial dragon, if she gets brought back to Marie Joie, it's not going to be that good for her, considering the fact that there's no food over there.
True,
Yeah,
true, true.
so that
Should they
might not be the
need
best.
they need this the
The vending
microwave
machine?
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they would still need the resources, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just invade like a neighboring nation,
Or just
call it a day,
fish.
or fish.
They could
Yeah,
just
fish.
really long lines. And people might be like, "Hey, that's unrealistic." They literally have that at the Red Port, lines that go down from the top to the bottom. They just hook up boats.
I would just go down to the red port and fish. To be honest,
Yeah,
it'd be
yeah.
that
I don't know.
simple.
Maybe they're so racist against fish, they don't eat fish. Oh, that
Maybe.
wait, but Sai, you love seafood. Would that put a wrench in your
I can make the adjustment.
admiral? Okay. Okay, okay. Like, what if Venus has never had sushi? What would that? Would you respect him less? Is he a fraud?
If Venus never had sushi,
Yeah, Venusajuro. Like,
If
he's like cosplaying
the man
like
from
Japanese.
Wano. It depends on his reasoning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What? Like, fish are friends, not food. Like, is that okay?
No, I think
Oh,
that's silly.
oh. What would the reasoning then be?
If it's like
Like mercury poisoning? Like he doesn't
no,
want to
not
get.
I think that's even worse. I think just like void
Wait, but
centric
that's
trauma.
a real concern.
Yeah, but I think it's still silly. If somebody were to walk up to me and say, "I don't eat fish, mercury poisoning," I'd be like, "Okay, loser." Whatever.
Wait, I would walk up to you and say that.
I would say, cover your ears, Par. You don't want to hear this next part. You don't want to hear what I have to say, Par.
But Sai, the whales are dying from mercury poisoning.
And then I'd say, whale, too bad.
That was good. That was.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm glad we took that detour for you to hit that pun. That was perfectly scripted.
Speaking
You
of
read the
whales,
teleprompter.
man, whale sharks, Jimbei. Atlas comes in. That was good, right? Is Jimbei a whale shark, or is that
Yeah.
Neptune?
No, Neptune's not a. Neptune is a relicanth. Yeah, whatever that Pokemon is in real life, that's what he is.
That's Neptune.
yeah, yeah,
So, but Jimbei is the whale shark fishman, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But yeah, Jimbei. So Atlas comes in, knocks Lilith out, and then says, "Hey, I'm gonna take care of this guy." So Jimbei right away says, "Hey, let's get the hell out of here," which is pretty cool. I think I really appreciate Jimbei here. He said, "Let's not hesitate. We like that's gonna bite us in the ass. We're gonna regret it." So they blast off right away. We see Atlas tackle Nasujiro, but not before he slices her left arm off. But she keeps on flying, and then she ends up blowing up, saying it's a service. I'm glad to be doing this. And she dies with a smile, which is pretty cool. And
Yeah.
what do you think about this? Well, what do you think about Atlas's sacrifice? Because I remember when I joined the live stream, when you were, reading the chapter, you were crying. You were really heartbroken that Atlas died.
Oh, was I?
Yeah,
That's-
tears in your eyes. You kept on screaming, "Atlas, why? Not another Pedro! Ah, it's too soon."
Oh, damn!
This hit close to home.
I'm the emotions must have been so deep that I forgot. That's crazy.
Yeah. You erased it from your memory.
Yeah, Atlas affected me on such a the like 7 chapters of Atlas that we've gotten total. Like, oh no,
The 10 panels of Atlas really got you.
Yeah. Nah, Atlas like became Superman in this chapter. Like straight up, like Lucci has nothing on this Atlas. This Atlas gets up from what Lucci did and beats his ass. Like, what the heck like? First of all, my thing is I don't even know if I want to give this like an Atlas stock. Like, is this Atlas W, or is this just Nasujiro is a terrible swordsman? How do you miss so badly on this giant girl that literally is visually bisected for you? Like, hit the line, bro. Like, how did you get the arm when
why do you
it's
go
not
horizontal?
trying to dodge? Weapon?
And I was gonna say, why do you go horizontal on the cut? But also, like you said, he is very precise. Like when he fought the pacifista, fighting's a loose term there, but when he attacked the pacifista, he was so precise that he managed to freeze their neurocircuitry and just stop them dead in their tracks. But for Atlas, he just boom, arm only. It's like, damn, okay, like that's maybe Atlas is just that fast. The fastest satellite on Egghead, yeah.
The blitz feats are crazy. Nah, like again, this is one of those things that's like Oda just needed certain things to be in certain places, and this is one of those moments where it's like plot is greater than logic a little bit. Like, could we together sit down in the span of a week and think of a better progression to get Atlas exploding, Nasujiro stalling? Because it's not like we think that Nasujiro is done for, obviously. He's just stalled, which, again, going back to the whole regeneration thing, it's like, that's all it does. It's just a stall. Like, the regeneration is not like a hacks. Like, he gets stalled by Atlas explosion. You know what I mean? Like that, at that point, is...
If Nasujiro couldn't regenerate, do you think he would die right here?
I mean, you're asking me a tough question. Does he have more durability than Ashura Doji? That's wild, Sai.
Yeah.
Wild.
I mean, Pedro, there's a lot of people who blew up in the series that are gone.
Yeah, but like Pell can fly, and maybe it's flying. Like they both can fly.
But also, like the bomb that Atlas has inside of her, like this isn't just a regular bomb. This is an Egghead Island bomb. A Vegapunk bomb.
And what do we know about Egghead Island bombs?
I don't know. Well, what do we know about Egghead Island bombs?
I don't know. I was asking because you were
just saying, like, it's a bomb. Okay, imagine this. Which do you think would be stronger? A bomb made by a guy who lives in a basement, or a bomb made by the world's greatest scientist?
Buggy. Guy lives in basement. I take Buggy.
You think Buggy can make a stronger bomb than Vegapunk?
Buggy's crazy, dude. Like,
so
Buggy solo upgraded his Buggy ball into him, and it almost one shot and awakened Zoan. Like, and it was like,
are you talking about Impel Down? Because that did nothing to him.
It immobilized them for a few panels.
No, it was a gag because it hit him and then he was still coming.
Wait, no, the Awakened Zone was down.
The Muggy Ball did not work on him.
No, it did.
The Muggy Ball didn't work. What are you talking about?
It worked. Okay, I know what chapter it is.
One Piece. Well, yeah, give me the chapter. 5 what?
546, probably.
546.
Are
you?
It's before this. It's the 545.
545.
Yeah, I see the Awakened Zones there. So let's see.
No, that's not it. Buggy doesn't use the Muggy Ball. That's way before this.
It's way before this?
It's while they were descending. Yeah.
Oh no, I thought it was when they were escaping.
Oh no, he uses it when they're descending, and they just hit level 4. And it was Buggy, Luffy, Bon Clay, and Mr. 3.
What chapter? Hit me with the chapter.
Oh, I have no idea, dude. I'm not as good as like some of you guys have like that number just ready to go.
Wait, I could have sworn it was on the ascent.
Let me see.
Like Crocodile took out one. Didn't Jinbei take out one, and then Buggy took out one, right?
Oh wow, it's right here, but it doesn't say what chapter. Muggy Ball flying at the Minotaurus while they're descending level 4. It doesn't say anything.
4?
Yeah.
Okay, so then level 4 is 530. Is that just 540?
Oh, I got it. It's chapter 532.
32? What?
Yeah, 532. They're descending. Minotaur shows up. Bon Clay finally makes an appearance. Wow, that's chapter. Buggy uses Muggy Ball. Oh, so okay, he uses the Muggy Ball And the Minotaurus does get dazed, yes. And then Bon Clay goes into attack, and then Luffy uses a rifle. And then, yeah, Mr. 3 assists Luffy. So it's like a combination attack, one after the other. But it starts with Buggy's Muggy Ball.
Yeah, and this, keep in mind, he made this while, like, imprisoned.
But here's the thing, though.
This is the basement guy. You literally, your hypothetical.
No. This is the basement guy.
Basement guy.
No. Sure.
Found basement guy.
Give it to Buggy. Why not, dude? Give this to Buggy. He can make that strongman explosion. What I'm saying is that Vegapunk could make a better one. So we talked about this earlier. You put Vegapunk above Crocus, above Kureha. We put Vegapunk above pretty much every character.
Am I putting Vegapunk above a Yonko?
I would put Vegapunk's creations and Vegapunk's bombs above Buggy. So I want you to say this right here. You think Buggy can make a better explosion than Vegapunk, Parvision?
Hey, listen, I'm gonna piggyback off of these are my theories. I don't even endorse these theories, but these are popular community theories that you have to respect, which is the long-standing, overwhelming majority theory that Buggy will have the ability to split an atom, and he will be able to create nuclear explosions with every split. So do I think that Buggy could surpass Vegapunk in explosive power? Yeah, based off of community.
Okay, yeah. So you believe that Buggy can surpass Vegapunk? Gotcha.
Oh yeah, I mean he's gonna know the history, right? That he surpassed Vegapunk.
Oh, sorry. In terms of explosiveness.
Explosiveness?
Yeah, like the bombs.
We don't. Here's the crazy thing, right? We haven't seen time skip Muggy Ball yet. It could, what is Buggy, Muggy, what, Puggy, Chuggy, Dougie? Like, I don't even want to know. It's D-Clan. Vuggy? With the we don't know. It could be that.
Do you think Buggy could make a greater Seraphim than Vegapunk?
Well, I don't know how growing a organic life form applies to explosive, incendiary. That's not exactly the same line of science. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit different. But I was gonna say, if Buggy's a scientist and Neo-Mads, they would like him.
Oh, they would. Oh, yeah, I could totally see that team up.
Yeah, Clown, Caesar, Judge is kind of there. He just needs a face paint a little bit. He has the mask already and the mustache. So, like, listen. Buggy could... And then imagine that. Like, Caesar wants to surpass Vegapunk, and then he gets rizzed by Buggy. Like the charisma. And then he's like, oh my god, you are the Lord and Savior. You are the smartest man alive. And Buggy's just like, me? This guy? And then Caesar buys into it. That'd be crazy.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. As far as like cross guild goes with Neo-Mads, I could see it. Because when it comes to cross guild, they need somebody to, I know we're spitting off of like a joke here, but the thing is that Neo-Mads, I feel like if you were to put a poneglyph in front of Judge and Caesar and give them time, I feel like they could probably decipher it.
I'd hope so.
Yeah. I feel like that's somebody not only cross guild needs, but Shanks as well. We don't know too much about Shanks and how he's going about reading the poneglyphs, but he does need somebody. But I doubt he's going to team up with Neo-Mads out of everybody. So
yeah,
I feel like if cross guild does team up, it's with Neo-Mads.
Yeah.
So after Atlas's valiant explosion that was 100% needed, we go down to the coast of Egghead Island, and we see that Vice Admiral Hound is getting a lot of panel space here. A lot of dialogue boxes dedicated to him. Too much, actually. And we see that they're asking Vice Admiral Hound what is going on. There's a boar, a bird, a robot, and a brilliant giant snake on this island. The Vice Admiral Hound says he has no idea what the hell's going on. What's up?
Wait, what translations are you going off of, Sai? I didn't seem to get that. Okay, brilliant giant snake, huh? That's wow. I really like whoever's translating your
Yeah,
chapters.
I don't know. I think I translated it myself actually.
I
Uh,
didn't know Kaido was here.
yeah, the divine serpent is what they called him, Jupiter. But yeah, they
Ah,
so Jupiter's a worm, a sandworm, but they're calling him a
ah,
snake, which I think is kind of funny. Like they're mistaking the worm for a snake, which I've seen
crazy
people saying he's
boys.
like a sandworm, like a WYRM, but that's
Uh-huh.
not what's translated in the officials. I know that's like a Viz thing, but in the officials they just call him a sandworm. And sandworm versus sandworm are two very different things.
Yeah,
And it's like I don't see any reptilian aspects of Jupiter, but if the Marines want to believe that, who am I to stop them from dreaming?
if you like the thing is we also don't see the band, the iconic band that should be around his neck that would indicate that he's an earthworm. I'd like if he was an earthworm, but he's not an earthworm, he's a sandworm. So that's a
Yeah.
little bit different. So,
And then
it,
some
it
people are I saw somebody try to say like, sandworms are like reptilian and like sandworms in like fiction are always like dragons. And it's like I think they're getting confused because like sandworm and sandworm are different things. Like they're completely different. There's two of them. There's two of
yeah.
them. They're
If there
spelled
was a
differently.
mythos, I'd closely connect this to it's the Alaskan bullworm from SpongeBob. If we're
Yeah.
going off of made up mythologies that like came up recent, then like a Dune, like a lot of people said Dune at the start. Well, Dune
Yeah.
was just like this made shit up. Like that's not based off of
And
anything.
then people also have the Mongolian death worm as well.
Yeah, which looks different, I feel like, right?
Yeah. And then I know in
Yeah.
like D&D there's also like actual sandworms like what Jupiter is spelled as in the Viz.
It'd be cool if he was a leech.
Leech wouldn't be bad, but I mean he's more of a
Yeah.
biter than a sucker.
No, he's more of a sucker than a biter.
He does both
He
really
used both
well.
teeth. Oh, actually, no. In this chapter,
Yeah, he
he
takes a
does.
nice chunk out. So before we get
You're
there
right.
though, after the Goofy Marine dialogue, we see Luffy talking to the ancient robot, but I don't think Luffy can use the voice of all things and actually communicate. Like when you look at this
Yeah,
chapter, like the robot's talking in the voice of all things. Luffy can obviously hear him, but whenever Luffy talks, it's not in the voice of all things. So I wonder if the robot can understand him, because even when the robot says I'm talking about you, it's just Luffy just looking around. He doesn't say, oh, like who are you talking about, right? So it's like it's very intentional what Oda's doing here. Luffy hasn't mastered the voice of all things yet. He doesn't know how to use it. We saw him use it in Wano, but like even then he was unconscious. Like that might have just been by accident. So
I
I
think
don't
the text
know.
box are odd for me, but like
Yeah,
I think the main like the minimum thing that I'm going with is that the misunderstanding of Joy Boy. Like if
yeah,
you read this in the context that Luffy doesn't recognize himself as Joy Boy, then you could take it as they're having a conversation and Luffy's just like, wait, who's he talking to? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like then it could make sense. Like you're saying, like Luffy's not being receptive and the doesn't seem like the giant is either. But like it just seems like the disconnect is the word Joy Boy or the name Joy Boy in the scope of what Luffy is like trying to have a conversation as or with, right? Like it's kind of
Or
interesting, but
oh, sorry,
what
sorry.
were you saying?
I meant more so like Luffy can understand the robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just like he can't talk to the robot is what I meant.
No, I think the robot can hear him. Like I think the robot can. Oh, like you're saying like it's like the Zunisha situation, right? Like
Yeah, like Luffy
yeah,
isn't using the
mhm,
voice of all things like Momonosuke. I feel like he will be able to, but right now he hasn't displayed it. And everything that we get from Luffy doesn't show that he's like talking to the robot and the robot's receiving it. Because like when we get Luffy talking to him, he says, "So you could talk." That's so cool. But the robot
yeah,
doesn't even respond to that. He
yeah.
just says, "I
I
will
see
protect
what
you
you
from
mean.
danger, Joy Boy." So it
Here's
kind
a
of
question.
makes me question that a lot.
Here's a question I had at the
Yeah.
very beginning, not the very beginning, after it says, the giants are like Iron Giant, and then the next panel, it says like Joy Boy, but beneath that, there's like the weird shading. Is that a face?
Oh, that's Jupiter.
What?
Yeah.
Where?
Wait. So the panel where like it's the Iron Giant's back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Luffy's
Jupiter.
like right. How?
That's Jupiter,
The
dude.
worm?
Yeah, that's his eye, and that's the X mark right there, right underneath Joy Boy. Because you gotta remember, like last chapter, Luffy just hit Jupiter.
Uh-huh. Why it's shaded in such a way that I was thinking that the Iron Giant was imagining Joy Boy.
Oh,
And like,
I see what you mean now, dude. That's Jupiter, dude. It's the snake, man. It's the divine snake. The divine serpent.
Like, I'm even looking at the next panel, Jupiter comes up, and I'm like, I see a straight up nose and eyeball. Like, there's do you see that nose, dude? Like, there's a nose in that picture.
That's just the X that's cut off.
It looks like a cursed picture. Like, it looks like Joy Boy is super ugly. Like the Skypea Vars statue. Yeah. That's what that kind of looks like.
I mean, I can't see it right now because I just see Jupiter. But like, if you were to scroll down to like the next page where we see him, you can literally just take that and superimpose it on that image, and it's the exact same.
Is it really?
Yeah, right, I could literally send you a screenshot right now where it's overlapping, and just I turn the opacity down, and you would literally have a 1-to-1.
Wait, do you have that prepared?
No, because if I do that, it's gonna mess up the recording a little bit. So I was thinking about it, but it's like, how do I do this? Maybe I could take a picture of my phone.
I thought you had that prepared because you pre-cogged this conversation. Like, Par's gonna think that's a face, so I'm gonna get this prepared.
I had a feeling, and I was like, okay, how do I combat this real quick?
Yeah. As we do, as it's in the teleprompter.
Here, I'm sending you the images right now. Just if you could superimpose it, just like 1-to-1, it's like right there. Like, just put the smoke cloud in at the same like, and you zoom in. It's literally just Jupiter. It's like what you're seeing is the nose is actually just part of the X that's cut off by the smoke.
The eye shape, the eye shape's super ugly. Yeah, it's the same eye shape. Yeah.
It's just Jupiter.
Yeah, you're right. Or sorry, you mean Peter?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Jupiter. Sorry.
Come on.
First name Jew, last name Peter. Wait, first name Jew, middle name Shepherd.
No. First name Shepherd, middle name Jew.
Is it?
Last name Peter. Yeah, Shepherd and Jew Peter.
Oh, you're right. Shepherd, Jew Peter. So should we just call him Shepherd from now on?
I've been so confused by this. It's not confusing but they call him Saturn and then they call him Peter. And it's like, why not just call him Jupiter?
And then there's Venus. We're calling him by his, middle last name. We should just call him Ethan Barron.
Yeah, Ethan
you
Barron
know how upset people would be? People would be so upset if we call him Ethan Barron.
Yeah, honestly, can we start doing that? Ethan Barron. I feel like I remember that Shepherd.
Dude, I called Saturn Jay one time. So, dude, people got upset.
What? Why?
Yeah, they're like, oh, why are you calling him Jay? And like just call him Saturn. And it's like, I mean, okay, his name is Jay. It's like, and then people also get upset when I say Jupiter, not Jupiter. And it's like, brother, his name is Jupiter. What are you going to say? And then people are like, oh, Sai, like you're just saying Jews. And it's like, his name, guys. And then if you call him Venus, which isn't even close to it because it's V Nasu Juro. I don't know. Hey, some people when they get too nitpicky about these names, when it's literally just there.
I'm going with Ethan J. Shepherd. No, I like Peter. I'll go with Peter.
I like Jew Peter. I think it's so unique, Jew Peter.
Yeah, but like, I also, if we're gonna keep what's the word, parallelism? Yeah, I'm gonna stick with all the just most generic names.
Just go with their middle names: Garcia, V, Jew. Mars
there's no continuity with it. But like Peter, Jay, Ethan, that's like the whitest names.
You have to say Ethan Barron though. It's like it's 2 in 1.
Nah, I'm just gonna stop. Why do I have to do that? If we can do Peter versus Jupiter, then I can just do Ethan.
No, but here's the thing. Like my name is Sai. What if you call me S? So you cut it in half. It doesn't make any sense. You gotta call him Ethan Barron. It's one name.
No, but it's one syllable. Your Barron is 2 extra syllables.
But it's all connected. Like you can't just take his name and.
I mean, people are doing it all the same. What do you mean?
Yeah, but we gotta be held to a higher standard, Par.
Like the only was it Top Man? Ah, no, that's garbage. Come on.
Top Man's kind of hard.
It is, but it's not the like I'm looking for like Bob. You know what I mean? Like I want the other like Ethan, Jay, Peter, Bob, and Steve.
Shepherd.
Like, can we just do that? Like,
Imagine Emu's name is Billy.
yeah, like why not?
That'd be so crazy.
It could be all the
I'm Billy
off
Nerona.
names for like Dick. You know, like Richard, William,
Yeah.
Billy, Bobby. Like all of those get shorthanded to Dick for some reason. Yeah, that'd be kind of funny for a story to do. Like just all like there's the five Gorosei, they're all those names, and then the main villain is just like
Joe.
what no, I was gonna say something
Adam Sandler.
the main digit. No, what's the third leg? Ooh.
The third leg. I forgot. I think I made a short about that. No. I called Jinbei the third leg of the Pirate King.
Yeah, because
Because we have the wings, and then I was like, well, the only body part we're missing is the leg, so I guess Jinbei could be the leg.
Yeah. If the
Good
robot,
good theory.
yeah, the robot that Frankie, where would Jinbei fit in? He'd have to be the third leg.
I feel like this is one of those Steve Harvey moments where, like Steve Harvey gets like a weirdly sexual like question, and then people give him a sexual answer in response, and then they're like, it's up there, Steve. You got this. Yeah. Just super supportive.
I see that
I love Family
seen
Feud.
some shorts. You've been watching some episodes.
Oh, no, yeah, I got Hulu for Family Feud, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, love me some Family Feud. Steve Harvey's great.
Yeah. Shiny head.
Yeah, shiny head. So Emeth, though, I love Emeth and Luffy's interaction because it's kind of wholesome in a way, right?
Yeah.
Emmett's like, yo, I want to protect this guy. Like, idiot, I'm talking about you. Like, he feels like a Nakama, right? You could tell he was a Joy Boy Nakama, like his Frankie. And it just feels good. So he goes in. He's going to fight the Gorosei, right? Also, shout outs to Kashi. If you look at the giant panel, Kashi's actually alive again after being hit by Doll. He's A-okay.
Damn, look at him.
Yeah, so Emeth goes in, though. He tries to fight by using a rocket punch. He loads it up. Ka-ching. He's about to attack. Jupiter's getting ready to, take that to the face, but it doesn't fire off. And instead, Jupiter manages to chomp off what seems to be a quarter of Emmeth's body.
Yeah.
We cannot underestimate how strong the number one Gorosei actually is.
That's crazy, Glaze.
Hey, I mean, that's factual. I mean, Jupiter, when he came to Egghead Island, his circle had one. Saturn was 5. Venus was 3. Itsumare was it 2? It was something like that. Yeah, I forgot some of the numbers in the middle, but Jupiter was number 1. I know that for a fact.
If the numbers, I can't contextualize what those numbers could possibly be a metric of anymore. At this point, it's such
it could be power,
weird,
dude. It could be power.
Like after seeing Mars too, like Mars was like laser beaming. Like, you know what I mean? Like you couldn't Mars not do the same thing? I don't know. And it's like
So correction, 4 is Mars, 3 is Warkari, 2 is Bokotsu Venus, and 1 is Jupiter. Yeah, for sure.
Damn. Not for sure.
For sure, also, dude. Come on.
Saturn's
you see this.
boogers,
You see this.
Saturn's spitball booger things. They probably could do the same damage, no?
No. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so, dude.
Nuclear, like those things had the mushroom explosion that lit half of the island on. It's still on fire. They all had to regenerate from it. You know what I mean? It's
to be fair, the island's also on fire because of the Buster Call. It's not just because of Saturn's bombs. It was on fire before that.
No, but like they didn't catch on fire because of the Buster Call. They caught on fire because of his boogers. What chapter is it? No, we gotta go back to that.
I'm just saying, dude, Jupiter's attack strength out of everyone we've seen thus far, it might be the best. It might actually be the best. Warcody, he slammed him, dude.
If
Ancient
you're
Robot
trying
wasn't
to
even
sell-
fighting back. Slammed him into the water.
Sigh.
He got back up, brother. He got back up.
you are
Dude,
trying to
I
sell
told
to
you.
me-
I've been telling you. Jupiter's been my number one.
I don't care if you're trying to sell to me that the Gorosei's strongest attack is a mouth. Yeah, come on.
Okay, but here's the thing.
yourself.
He has the crazy... Dude, Jupiter has
Yeah.
the craziest teeth out of the Gorosei. The best
He's got
teeth.
the world's strongest dentist. That's
Exactly.
right. like, listen. Sai,
Also,
you're
the chapter
right
you're looking
now,
for is 1111.
11:11. I'm looking at it right.
Yeah, and let me tell you, Jupiter looks good in that chapter.
Yeah, but you know who looks better?
You
Look at
can't
those
tell me
nuclear-
Saturn.
Nuclear. I hate Saturn, but listen, his
right.
boogers exploded 3 Gorosei. They all had to regenerate because of him.
Okay, to be fair, Jupiter was regenerating well before that, though.
No, he wasn't. We literally see his body behind them. Not
Okay,
regenerate.
well, you have to remember, before the booger bombs, what happened was that Dora and Brogy cut this guy in half.
Yeah, and we see his dead body sitting right in front of Luffy.
Yeah,
not
so he's regenerating
regenerating
from that. He's not regenerating from Saturn's booger bombs.
No, because we see him regenerate. The body that we're talking about is behind. I remember.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Jupiter, we don't know how he truly functions yet. And we don't even know why he was in the lineup with Warcody and Saturn. What if he was just chilling there? What if he wasn't harmed by Saturn's attack and he's just hanging out with the boys, dude?
That's irrelevant to what I'm talking about. I'm looking like objection, deflection. Like, I don't even know what to say here. My point is that what is it? Is it a spitball?
But also by
it's
your
a spitball.
You even said it yourself. You said that any bomb in the series of One Piece doesn't mean anything if it's not a muggy ball.
Yeah, but look, these are muggy balls. Like,
no, they're not. You
Yeah,
can't
look at this
You can't look
shit.
at Saturn's balls and say yes, Saturn has muggy balls.
I'm looking
No, you
straight at
can't.
his
That's not
balls.
possible. You can't. What do you mean? I
Those
could
are the
look at this.
closest
Okay,
thing
with
those are
this
the
logic,
closest thing to
by
muggy balls we've
calling
gotten.
Saturn's bombs muggy balls, I could look at these bombs and, using the same crazy logic, I could say, well, technically these are Vegapunk bombs because, Vegapunk works for Saturn and they're on Egghead Island. These are Egghead Island bombs.
It came out of his mouth. No, all right. You want to hear a better
Go for
logic? Buggy is hailed from a Holy Knights line that Saturn studied, and so the reason why Buggy knows all the explosive stuff is because the Godhead of Science helped develop his family lineage, heirloom of these things, and so Buggy's on a path to achieving the same thing through science. And without a doubt, these are the closest things to Muggy Balls we actually have.
And you know what? To stump all of this, to show how pointless science is, Jupiter was able to munch on it. What Jupiter did here in this chapter by munching on Emeth and destroying his body just shows how pointless science is and explosives are in the face of a true monster. You can't deny Jupiter's strength. It's gotta stop, dude. It's gotta stop. You're like a Shanks denier, It's like denying Shanks's flowers. It's like, nah,
what?
Like, Jupiter's
No,
top of the verse. Right. Number one.
Where is Warcry in this list? Is he 2? No, he's 3, right?
Warcody in the list of strongest Gorosei?
Well, the numbers. We don't know what those numbers mean.
Warcody's number 3.
Yeah. Oh, damn, this doesn't exactly work, but what I was gonna say is, oh no, but Nasajuro exists. He's number 2, right?
Yeah, Nasujuro's number 2.
Because Luffy is a glutton, mouth eat. He did this move against Lucci. Did the Pac-Man munch, eating everything. So Luffy, Nasajuro number 1, Zoro number 2. You got Venus next to him, and Zoro's so strong that number 3 is also a swordsman too. He got that 4-sword style.
He does.
Yeah, and he could also be Sanji's opponent because he has that exoskeleton that even Luffy can't crack.
So you're saying
Just like
Luffy's
Sanji.
main fight against the Gorosei is going to be against Jupiter?
Yeah, I think you're right. I have to subside here. You're right. Mouth. The mouth goes crazy. The throat goat, dude. Like, and if we're to think about it, who like one of the strongest powers in the series is the power of a smile. The only one who can smile the best is Jupiter. That's why he got
The
those
teeth,
veneers. He's
man.
ready. Yeah, dude. Like because even if Saturn smiled, we can't see through the beard. Warcree smile is cursed. Venus, there's something about bald dudes and
Something about bald people smiling. You don't like Steve Harvey, do you, huh?
yeah, yeah.
Hate
At
to
least
hate to
Steve
hear
Harvey
it.
has the mustache to shape the smile, but like, to compliment it. But Venus, if he to do it, cursed. Um, who's the other one? And birds don't have teeth. Oh, amazing. They just got beaks.
Actually Mars does have teeth.
Oh, that's so cursed.
It's so
That is,
cool.
that's
He's got the same
so cursed.
he's got the same like weird pointy but curved teeth that Warkity has.
I thought you were gonna say Rayquaza because you were on that thing from the
Yeah, I'm trying
stream.
to convince people right now. My main agenda is that Jupiter is so cool looking that he reminds me of Rayquaza from Pokemon.
Yeah, yeah.
And a
If
lot of
not
people are
better.
subscribing to that idea. You know what's great? You know what's
Stop.
crazy?
What?
If you look at the panel where Jupiter attacks Emeth, like right before he does it,
Uh-huh.
he's actually drooling. Go up to the panel where the Emeth is about to like punch him with the kaching, and then Jupiter's
Yeah.
hitting him with the rar. If you look at the bottom right from our perspective of his mouth, he's actually drooling. He's ready, dude. He's hungry. Ravenous.
What's crazy is I was sitting on that panel this entire time and I scrolled down to see what you're talking about, only to scroll back up to where I was to see the drool. Yeah, that's
You think
I
Emmet
didn't
tastes
know.
good?
Maybe wait. No, oh, I was gonna say because like by planets, Jupiter is the fire. No, Mercury is the fire planet, right?
I think
We
so.
know that Venus is the gold planet, like or metal planet, kin, and then the fire planet is Mars. That would make sense. And then we
Ooh.
have wood. Wood is Jupiter?
Yeah, what is
No,
Jupiter?
wood is Jupiter.
Yeah,
Okay,
I remember we had that conversation.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was gonna say maybe he can eat metal. That'd be kind of sick. Like
Like
Wapol.
he specializes in this.
That wait, what if that was like, what if Jupiter could do what Wapol does? That would be sick.
Imagine next chapter, Jupiter transforms into a robot with a worm head. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like or mechanical.
Dude,
Yo, if
I finally got you on the Jupiter hype train.
like you say that, but it was like my theory that like you just are just absorbed
Commandeered, yeah.
immediately. Yeah, and you don't even like it. Like, or do you like? You didn't even say if you liked it or not. You just agreed to get me on this side.
Anything to convert more people to the side of Jupiter.
Can you at least tell
Sorry,
me if
Shepard, I'm down for it.
Can you at least tell me if it was objectively a cool idea if Jupiter could do Wapol stuff?
If Commander Shepard could do it. I think it's a cool idea. I don't think it's gonna happen though.
Okay. All right, see.
Yeah.
Okay, now
It's not a bad
you can
idea.
go back to your copium. Let's do it's
Copium.
PEMDAS. You have to
All right, go
you
back to
can't
the
just skip.
copium. Yeah, by the way, Emeth is like half dead because of Jupiter.
No, copium that's Jupiter's cool and a snake.
Oh, he's cool. No,
Okay?
he's cool. He's a cool snake.
But he's not a snake. He's not a snake. Not even snakes have teeth like this.
I mean, okay, we don't have to call him a snake. We can call him like the divine serpent. You know, whatever you want.
Oh, that's
Yeah, we can call him the divine serpent. It's fine.
It's such a like manhwa like twist on like,
I got it from Yu-Gi-Oh! In Yu-Gi-Oh! One of the final villains is the divine serpent Geth.
yeah, and then it's just not it's just a word. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, listen, Emeth, I I spit I think I like the idea I said on stream ultimately, but like, especially looking back at it, does Emeth have the sauce?
Yeah, next chapter. I mean, okay, I was glazing up Jupiter, but of course Emeth's attack didn't go off. But next chapter, when Emeth actually whips out something, does he have the sauce? I think yes, he does. There's no like I feel like we're not going to end on a sour note with Emeth. I feel like he's going to go with an absolute bang. Whether it's a bomb, whether it's sorry, I'm looking at Jupiter in the final page, and he kind of reminds me of that fat guy from Dead Rising. But you know, I think because you can see like the folds of his neck. It's going crazy.
It's just the contour that Oda gave, where it's like the flanges
it's
out.
Insane.
Yeah.
Oda
didn't need to go like that.
But yeah, he's gonna whip out something, whether it's a bomb, whether it's like a saber. The people are saying the mother flame. Like I feel like he's gonna do good, especially when you know Emeth himself acknowledges that he's rotten. You know, like it's his time. Like it's got to be great.
I like the Atlas parallel, right? Because it's the same thing as Emeth, where arms gone, explodes right after, sacrifice. It's like the time is now. It's like one and done, perfect parallel, awesome. You know, maybe and you know that would go further because then you could say that this Emeth could have been like a satellite from the Void Century. If this parallel continues, then Emeth could be the Wrath clone of the Vegapunk parallel from back then. And Atlas and Emeth paralleling like that would be crazy. Sorry, excuse me. And so I would like that. But like when people responded saying like, is the destiny really to explode? And I was memeing on it, right? Like the whole Joy Boy telling, hey, wait, the time is now. Save it for the right time. And if that right time is just exploding themselves, it's just like the Pedro Roger's like, sorry, kid, I can't take you on my boat, even though I have 2 other kids on my ship. The time isn't now. Your time, you'll know when your time to shine as a star will come. And then we find out that his time to shine as a star was literally exploding himself, which wasn't necessary because Perospero just lost an arm for that. But anyways, the point being is that like it'd be crazy if Joy Boy said, Emeth, save this for when the time is right. You'll know when the time is right. 800 years goes by. Emeth wakes up for like 5 minutes. Joy Boy, is it now? And then just explodes. It's like, wait.
It's kind of interesting. It's like if I walked up to you, Par, and I said, hey, Par, when the time is right, use this. And it's a stick of dynamite. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's strange. And like, I don't know. Because like, I feel like the only thing Emeth could do is explode. Because like you said, we've seen that a lot. But that's the thing. We've seen it so many times. Like Kuma, self-destruct button. Atlas, self-destruct. Like, is Oda really going to do it again? Like another self-destruct, but I mean, I guess, you know, bigger than the last one. Like, I don't know. It's like 4th of July fireworks. Like, if you've seen them, you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Yeah, it'd be like, what if there's like a one-time use Poseidon, like a one-time use like ancient weapon level thing, and like I'm saying Poseidon only because like we don't know Uranus and Pluton enough to like whether or not Enies Lobby Lucia was like Pluton or Uranus, whichever one or not. But the point is, we know Poseidon, and like, what if it's like a one-time use? Summon all the Sea Kings, and they just show up, and then like it's the Gorosei, 5 Gorosei for like 1,000 Sea Kings.
That'd be cool.
Like that would be kind of
man. That'd be a snack day for Jupiter, though. Let me tell you, he'd be living good.
How would that be a snack day? They would dwarf him.
He would just eat it up. I mean, Luffy's he's eating dinosaur meat that's bigger than him.
For Jupiter?
If you put a heaping helping of food in front of Jupiter, I feel like he'd eat that up.
Okay, Sea Kings aren't heaping helpings of food. They are giant Sea Kings.
But you gotta remember, dude, people much smaller than Jupiter has eaten Sea Kings before.
This is true with Dorian Brogy, example A.
Nope. There's a human example too.
Rayleigh.
Nope.
Beat Sea Kings.
It's one of our favorite characters.
Wait, what?
Don Krieg.
What?
In the Vivre card, Oda said that Don Krieg's favorite meal is Sea King.
Yeah, but that didn't say that he procures. That's like
How
what?
else? You're telling me the world's strongest pirate fleet admiral can't secure Sea Kings?
I He went to the Bharati and was begging. His literal introduction is him begging for food because he couldn't fish
because
on
he
his
was
own.
dying.
Jin and Don Krieg were the most useless sailors ever.
Hey, he was
There's
dying. What do you mean?
Water everywhere.
If you're talking about full power, Don Krieg could totally take a Sea King. What are you talking about?
Cross the calm belt where your Sea Kings are present, and my man was starving. Where was it, huh, Sai?
His ship was broken. He probably doesn't have a fishing pole. What are you talking about? See,
I need to see the fishing pole.
I feel like you just. I feel like you're allergic to really cool characters like Jupiter, like Caesar Clown, Don Krieg. Like I feel like you're like. Maybe that's why you're so sick. You're sick because these characters are finally having their time to shine.
In no world are all three of those characters in any singular group. There's no group that Jupiter, Caesar, and Don Krieg. There's no. What did you just create with that? Like I don't even. That was disgusting.
We gotta throw in more.
Don't ever try that again. That was like
imagine. So One Piece Day is coming up. It's like the first week of August. Imagine the headliner is a Don Krieg, Jupiter, and Caesar Clown statue. That would be huge.
Yeah. They're also like the top 20 most like they're in the top 20 popular characters of all time. Like not all time or like recent, whatever they do with the
Jupiter's the #1 most liked character in the next poll.
You know what? I would like that if they did a poll of the Gorosei and we got to see a ranking of where the Gorosei are at. Like how people like that.
Or like to give it more of a challenge, about like every world government marine figure. Like there's a pirate poll and then a world government poll. That'd be cool.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's
do that, Oda.
Imagine all the VAs rank super high. Cincinnati #1,
you would make
Jupiter
like 7
#2.
videos.
Dude, I would be going crazy.
Yeah,
unlimited content.
Oda would too, though. I mean, Oda literally uses the popularity polls and be like, "All right, I guess I'll put more of them in here. If you guys say you like these guys."
I mean, that's kind of how we got the Law stuff, right? Oda was like, "Yeah, I didn't know how popular Law would be, so he just became more prominent."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, popularity polls actually mean things to him, which is pretty cool. Which I mean, Sandman even came out and said Oda got one guy the other day. Because apparently, like, some editors said that he didn't like the way Luffy's facial expression was. And then Oda got mad at him and didn't talk to him for a day. And then by the time he came back, Oda changed Luffy's facial expressions completely. So, like, Oda's easily... You know, I feel like for important story beats, of course, it's what like he's going to stand his ground. But for smaller things, like, he gets one guide. Never underestimate the polls. We have an influence to some small extent.
Yeah, and we know that Oda watches this channel or his editors.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, and if there was any proof that you guys needed, look no further than the end of this chapter where the editor note, which, you know, I've clarified in the past the nuance of it, and I won't do that this time. But when you read it, you'll notice something very amazing going on here, which is it says, cover and color spread next issue, a visionary envisions the future. Now, you guys can figure out.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know who's a part of this podcast. You know, it's part vision, right? It's crazy.
Listen, one time, shame on me. 2 times, shame on you. All I'm saying is it's in there twice. Come on, guys.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
that final page though, where we see like Venus already healing and Saturn and everything. It's so cool. But like, dude, Saturn though, we kind of skipped on the Saturn part. The coordination,
we saved the best for last.
Yeah, we saved the best for last. Dude, the coordination between the Gorosei, like, dude, Jupiter is going in to attack Emeth, and then Saturn literally jumps off of him. And he says, he says, Peter, crush them where they stand. And then Saturn jumps onto a giant ship, bro. Come on. How is that not hype?
It's not hype only because of when you realize like he's cooked. He's
what do you mean?
He's getting on this thing and he's cooked.
He only has to fight Dory, Brogy, Luffy, Oimo, Kashi, the Giant, Sanji, Frankie, Kuma, and Bonnie. What are you talking
My
about?
man ran from 3 fights. He ran from Usopp. Like
He had bigger fish to fry. He had bigger fish to fry.
Yeah. The bigger fish are now so big they will fry him. They literally cook his ass. Like each one of them is a Gorosei level threat apparently, and he is on their ship in their territory now. Like the thing is, Saturn was built up to be a long range god. He has the booger bomb. What would they were supposed to do?
I love how we call them booger bombs when it actually comes from his mouth.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like spitballs, booger bombs, it's whatever. There's a character in One Piece that had booger bombs. It's everyone. If it comes from your face, it's a booger bomb. It's whatever. It's much more plausible than spitballs. Because with spitballs, you have to put paper in it, you know?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So it makes more sense, you know? But the point is, when, like, when will we get the webs? This is the they just don't want the ship to leave. Saturn jumps on the ship. All he does is give them more momentum to leave because his weight adds
no. You don't see the vision, you visionary. What if Saturn jumped onto the ship, right? Imagine this. Next chapter, let's say Luffy's able to knock him back. But as Saturn is flying back, we see a web that he attached to the ship, and it pulls it back too.
I was thinking the reverse, right? Like the web is attached to him, but we see Jupiter. I was thinking that like somebody would end up being his like fishing rod, but we see.
I don't know, man. But with Saturn here, I think the Giants are done. I don't think we're going to Elbaf anymore.
Oh no!
I'm kidding. Yeah, story's over, guys. Saturn wins.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm a little bit scared that Saturn's gonna get done dirty, because we see the Thousand Sunny falling in the same page we see Saturn, and Sanji's just looking up. And I'm really afraid that Oda's gonna pull a Big Mom and just have the Thousand Sunny fall on Saturn.
Just clock his ass. That's what I'm saying. He's cooked, bro. Straight up.
Yeah, I mean, even just going, jokes aside, like Luffy packed him up pretty well and neat. I mean, Kuma, a single punch from Kuma sent him flying. We saw what Dory and Brogy were able to do. Like, I really don't see a future where Saturn lands on this ship and gets away with a significant win. But maybe, I mean, they're well off into the ocean, so maybe they'll knock him back and he falls in the water, and we finally see what's up with the Gorosei. Because a lot of people, are still pretty divided on that, on whether or not these guys have devil fruits or actual demon powers. So I feel like this could clear that up.
How crazy would this be if I'm memeing with this straight up, but like there are like camel spiders. So someone might know where I'm going with this if they know how camel spiders work. Camel spiders like sit underneath a camel's belly while they like traverse the desert. And it's like very opportune for them to do so because it's like easy travel. And like there's some spiders that have evolved. I think they're called like the wheel spider or something like that, where in order to escape or move in the desert, they literally just turn into a ball and just roll. And so like you'll see like clips of them fighting some other like a scorpion or some shit, and then they're like, all right, time to eject, and then they turn into a ball and just roll away down like a desert dune. And so like the wolf, the camel spider, at least from memory, they sit underneath. They're huge. They're just underneath the camel. What if the Sunny does hit Saturn falls, and then Saturn just underneath the ship all the way to Elbaf? He's just like Jesus, like Burgess.
Oh yeah.
Like a stowaway, and then Saturn just like guys, you have to come here now. Like he summons them. Oh my god, that'd be kind of sick.
That could
also
be
stupid, but like sick.
Or with the camel spider, I thought you were gonna say that maybe they knock him off and they think he's gone, but when they land on Elbaf, Saturn just crawls from underneath the ship and he's actually there.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Wait, what did you think I meant the first time?
I was stuck on the trap spider, so I thought you were just gonna say like you know, he would attach them for just a little bit, and then some of them
no,
like on
all
the
the way.
ship.
Nah, like how Burgess was on Baltigo, like with the revs, and like
Yeah.
Sabo didn't check. Like, how do you miss Burgess? By the way, we've talked about that, right?
You gotta like not look at your ship or do anything or just walk around. You gotta just like, you know, hey, let's set sailing, let's go.
Like the loudest guy in One Piece, like with the most, they have a literal horse, but isn't his laugh like a horse? Like,
yeah, he rails it up.
Beautiful. I'm submitting that sound clip to my soundboard.
I mean, the thing with Burgess too, like, yeah, sure, he's not like yelling anymore. He's not laughing after getting beat by Sabo. But when Burgess got beat, it was even worse because he was huffy. He was like, teach, you know, like,
yeah,
he was not feeling good, man.
And it wasn't just Sabo. It was Sabo, Koala, and Hack. Like all of them.
Yeah. Bless you.
Thank you. Dang. That's just crazy.
This is a great chapter.
The wind got the best of me there. He's like, shut up about my employees. Yeah.
Don't make fun of them.
Yo, if Dragon had the power to like make you sneeze, that would be kind of OP.
Yeah?
Yeah. Imagine that, like the wind power is just
endless sneezing. Dude, if that was Dragon's power after all these years, I would never live it down. I really don't think I'd ever live it down.
But like imagine but think about it, right? Like we're trying to have a conversation or you're trying to say something and just every second you're sneezing. There's a reason why we say bless you after you sneeze. It's because apparently like your heart stops. If Dragon, this is like straight up One Punch Man JJK logic. Like he could induce perpetual sneezing and your heart would just never, and then what would you do? How would you stop that? That's a curse.
I mean, sure. It could be great in a niche fight, but the thing is that it's not a cool ability though. So you're telling me that after all these years, if Dragon has the ability to make people sneeze, you would eat it. You would love it. Like, I would laugh at it. I would laugh at it. Don't get me wrong. It would be hilarious. I think for a solid week, I would be eating it up. I would laugh at that till the day I die. But I would never once think, oh, wow, Dragon is so cool. Like, all this hype. Yeah, it's definitely worth it.
His devil fruit, like, makes his nostrils, like, humongous.
That'd be even worse. People have been waiting for Dragon for so long. His main ability, his nostrils flare up, and then he just sneezes.
He's nose... What's the Pokemon Nose Pass or whatever? Like, he's just like that... straight faced with this giant nos.
Yeah,
like
and
on Logtown, he was in the
and then you just hear the ... coming out of his nose. Just oh man.
Yo, that's why it's always ... because you can't like talk and breathe at the same time. That's why.
That's it. Yeah, we figured it out. We cooked here.
That's so crazy.
I think this is that one theory in the Parcast that's golden. People wait all the entire episode for this one theory. This is it.
Yeah, fucking Dragon's power is just fucking huge ass nose.
Well, here's the thing.
Is it sneezing or just having a huge nose?
Here's the thing, Par. You underestimated how devastating Jupiter's big mouth is, and then look what he did this chapter, right? Like,
right,
can we really underestimate a big nose?
Oh, and like, look, we gotta admit, Oda's doing something with those noses. Usopp's nose. I think Blackbeard's nose is just getting bigger and bigger too, right? Like,
yeah.
Buggy's nose. Like, what if Dragon has the ultimate nose?
And we know how strong Pinocchio is canonically.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I think they're cooking, or should I say, we're cooking. We're burning the story.
Yeah. Ooh.
Actually, look at the final page. Dude, Warkity has a big nose, actually. You see that? Dude, Warkity's nose is crazy.
Dude, I don't know why, but when I was imagining Dragon's nose, that's what was in my brain.
Really? Yeah. Warkity already has it.
When I scrolled down, it was like copy pasted. I guess because I saw it earlier, I just subliminally in my mind like this is a big ass nose. Like it's in One
I
Piece.
I almost want to like take all the Gorosei and just take one aspect of them and combine them. Like Jupiter's mouth, Waraki's nose. Like, what could we create with this, right?
The hair from Mars.
Yeah, Mars is it long, luscious hair. Saturn's legs, maybe lower body.
Saturn's legs. Yeah, Venus. Wait, what would we take from Venus?
I don't know what bald head.
Nah, because they have the hair.
Yeah, we have the hair. You're right. What would Venus contribute to this? Maybe just the torso?
He has that weird ass rag on his face when he transforms. Or is that fine skin?
The horse skin rag thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess we could. Yeah, just like imagine like a skin like Michael Myers mask, a big nose, big mouth.
No, the Bakotsu's on fire.
Yeah, put this guy on fire.
Yeah. Just light him. Imagine it's one of those like fusions where it's like that guy just fucks it up for everybody else. They're burning to death because of it.
Hey, if the Gorosei had one like ultimate transformation they combined, I think that would be a pretty cool transformation.
I think they will have a transformation. Not transformation, like a fusion. Sorry.
Oh, a fusion. Okay.
1 + 2. Wait, what's was it 1 factorial? 5 factorial? No, that's
5
times.
So let me see
5,
here.
4, 10, 15?
14? Is it 15?
I think it's 15.
I think it's 15,
right? Yeah. 3, 2, 5, 1, 4, 5, 5.
Yeah.
15. Yeah. 15. The power of 15. Oh! That's 1 away from 16 which is Emu. That's kind
of cooking, dude. I mean, people have been saying that next chapter, it was kind of like a joke, but it was kind of a cool idea. Somebody said that Emeth is going to use Pirate Docking 6. I don't know who, when, why, or where, but you never know.
The Recycle Dog's going to come in. He's going to become the arm.
Ooh.
I saw people commenting about I think someone tweeted, they're like, is Par and Sai's Recycle Dog theory coming to light here?
Hey, you never know.
I was like, yeah. I was like Kinemon face. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you didn't intend for it.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't see it. I don't know where people are getting Recycle Curve from this chapter, but sure, I'm down.
Hey,
it'd be crazy if Emeth looked at the Recycle Curve and been like said some like, Fido, it's you. It's been 900 years, and then you just hear bark, and then it's like, do we know? Yeah, like, do we know if the Recycle Curve was made by Vegapunk?
We don't really know. I'm assuming it is though.
Did it say that it was a Vegapunk invention? Now that I think about it, I made a whole ass theory. Hold on.
Recycle Curve One Piece. Recycle 1. Doesn't say.
Yeah, we actually have no nuance of if
I'm assuming it's Vegapunk. It looks like everything else Vegapunk makes.
Yeah. Or what if it's the like this dog was crucial for the revival of Emeth? It has been recycling trash to try and revive him.
Oh yeah, imagine it's the scrapyard, the robot's there, and it's like, man, this robot, I gotta clean its room. The Recycle Dog's just cleaning his room every day, actually.
Yeah. That'd be crazy.
With Emeth though, do you think, I mean, I think we've talked about this before, but like the X on his back, it's more pronounced in this chapter than ever. Yeah. Do you think that's gonna be part of what he's going to activate? Or do you think it's just like a nice design?
It reminds me of like Frankie and Chopper. Mainly Chopper. It's the same like X on his hat.
Yeah.
So like I just can't like look at that and not think that. I have no idea what that means or for this chapter or like in the context of if it's meaningful. The last X, I guess, is Jupiter's face, I guess. Yeah. There's an X there. There's also an X on Smoker. Smoker, Jupiter, Emeth. That is a group.
And
also
Luffy.
True. But yeah, it's the X.
Who else has an X?
Interesting.
X Drake. He has the X on his chin.
Yeah, yeah. He also has on his chest too, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because
Wow.
he's like
Drake,
shirtless.
Jupiter, Emeth, Smoker. Huh.
Yeah, yeah, it's a wild lineup. Yeah, I don't really know. And like, yeah, going back to like the explosion thing, it's a little weird. I on stream I was saying like maybe it's music, like maybe there's like a song that he like Joy Boy is saying like it's a one-time play it. I don't know how that plays out for this, but my logic at the time was like maybe the song is what prevents the regeneration of the Gorosei. I would imagine that whatever Emeth is waiting on might connect to the regeneration aspect. But I have no like
No clue.
yeah, like as far as expectations go, I don't have any. And as far as like probable like foresight for what listen, like when we said that the giant had aura, Oda had that giant fall into the ocean, no diff. Then we were like, oh, the giant's just gonna like, can he even swim? My man Superman jumped out of the ocean, sucker punched a Gorosei member, stood up to them. Now in this chapter, he's walking at them like they're like I don't even know what he's walking up to them like he's an Avenger. Like
Yeah, I mean, he
straight
has like the
up.
Captain America shield, dude.
Yeah, straight up walking into like five Thanoses and just like that I got this. Like the energy of Hulk, Captain America, and Iron Man all in one. And he's just that guy. And then his arm gets ripped off immediately because he didn't realize his weapon wouldn't go. So it's like, I don't know like if we in this chapter, it's like, oh, he's got this. Nope, his arm's gone. It's like, oh, he's got no, he just exploded. Like, it's just gonna
Yeah.
stall the Gorosei just like
You
Atlas. It's
know,
fine.
one thing I noticed in this final page, you actually see Saturn with the lobotomized eyes that he's talking. So that's pretty cool.
Sorry, I just ignored everything you
Oh, no,
said.
you're good, dude. I
And
mean,
I was thinking, what if
cosplaying Saturn.
Smoker that it could be the mother not that okay, so like it might be that jetpack thing could be crucial to storing the mother flame. Maybe what
Mm.
Smoker has is like the mother flame. That'd be kind of crazy. Because if Vegapunk predicted that York had stole it, and up to the point of pre-recording this message, even, then preserving the mother flame would be really important. If he knows that Egghead's gonna go like wayside or go in the hands of the thing, then getting a separated version would be an ideal move to make, considering it's his dream. And now I'm like, this is just off of hot air, but like, if the Iron Giant were to pull some like I don't even know. Was it like it's not Deus Ex Machina? Is that what would be appropriate here? Where he just like pulls out the exact thing that they need to
Yeah.
like completely yeah like where it's like the mother flame induced weapon that stops the regeneration of the Gorosei and actually hurts them. It like that's exactly what would be needed here. What would power that? Mother flame. It's like the perfect kind of thing. And I'm like, if the X is somehow related to this, I don't know. Like maybe it could be like Jupiter can eat the mother flame. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with it, but
I don't know where you're going either, but I like it.
yeah, there's something. There's something because like you're right. It's so prominent and it's been emphasized before. Like it's such a weird contraption that we've never seen really before in One Piece to this extent that it's like it'd be weird if it was just the design, you
Yeah.
know?
It could be
I'm
a
not saying it
jetpack, but
can't.
even then, like the jetpack is
Why is it
like
cornered?
this. Yeah, why
Yeah.
is it cornered and not like straight down?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's like I don't even know. Yeah, like and then the other thing about it is like no,
So
it doesn't work with like Frankie, but the like him losing the arm, right? Like it doesn't feel like it's a problem,
yeah, I mean,
you
but the
know?
thing is, like, if he, like you said, if he explodes, it doesn't matter, right? Like, if I'm gonna kill
Right, that's
myself and
true.
just blow myself up, I wouldn't really care that I'm missing an arm at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And plus, he kind of like we don't know the context, but he's acknowledged that this is his time You know, is this like a Pedro thing where he's like, oh, this is my time, I gotta go? Then it's like,
I
okay,
guess I
yeah.
just don't like as much as that was like a first instinct, first thought. Like I still think that's the most likely scenario that he just blows up. I just don't want that. And so I'm trying to think of like other
Yeah, I
options.
mean, somebody put it best. They're like, yeah, that's so predictable, right? Like an explosion's the most predictable thing. Like, would Oda actually do this? And it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what else Emeth could whip out because I don't see Emeth surviving this island. I really don't. Like, I
Yeah.
can't imagine there's a scenario where Emeth gets off of this island a okay.
And how about this? Like, do you feel like that Emeth and the symbol on Egghead are connected?
The symbol on Egghead.
Yeah, like the horned. We talked about so many horned giant creatures and
Like you mean Punk Hazard?
yeah. Oh, Punk Hazard. Sorry, sorry,
No, you're
sorry.
good. You're good.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. It shouldn't be, but it's also like this is kind of one of the things that like Vegapunk designs so much around that I'm kind of like because the other part about Egghead that's super interesting is that like Egghead Vegapunk had his island blown up and he just happened to choose the one where the Iron Giant was, or did he know that it was there? You know
I
what I
think he
mean?
knew.
Like weapon?
I think he knew.
You think he knew, right? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like it might be that he already knew about the Iron Giant well before he moved there, which could mean that the symbol could be related to Emeth. It could be that Punk Hazard and
The
that
problem
symbol.
with Emeth is that like I feel like the as far as the Punk Hazard symbol goes, it's so distinct where like it comes from the bottom, whereas
Bottom.
Emeth it's at the top.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then we've seen Jolly Rogers where there's horns at the top. So it's weird if Oda did the exact opposite for this Jolly Roger that we see at Punk Hazard.
And the giant doesn't have any symbols on it, right?
No, no symbols.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's a good chapter, man. Next week we got the 27th One Piece anniversary. And then August 9th dash August 10th, depending on time zone. There's also the One Piece, I think it's like world live stream that they do every year. So that's going to be pretty cool.
Um,
They usually reveal
I,
movies there. So I think we should keep a lookout for a new One Piece movie announcement that day.
film green.
Yeah, something like that. You know, Oda, not Oda, the Jinbei voice actor actually said they're already working on the next movie. He said that like last
Ah,
year.
yeah,
So I feel like the announcement's gonna be right here,
dang. But what
as
could
well as
top
whatever One
film
Piece video
red?
game we get.
What could possibly top film red in the last saga, Sai?
You know, here let's predict real quick. What movie would you want? Like out of any One Piece movie, like it could be canon, non-canon. It could expand on an event. A lot of people are saying they want a God Valley movie. What would you specifically want? Like a fan. You know, you have cancer. Like it's your make a wish. What would you pick?
Well, God Valley, especially now that we've seen it, I don't want it in a movie.
Yeah.
If it Void Century has to be in this story. There's like very, it's not
I
like
mean, it could even
JJK.
be
Like
like, yeah, I was about to say, it could be like JJK Zero. You know, it could be a canon movie.
no, the way I see it would be that Joy Boy, like we have to have Void Century stuff, but if they want to do a JJK Zero, that'd be Nika, right? Like
Yeah.
like I would be cool with a Nika movie, but it wouldn't make sense to do a Nika movie now, right? So like Nika movie would be later. Like once we get Void Century stuff, if Oda doesn't have the time to put Nika in this thing, he can make a movie on that. That would be JJK Zero, and that would be amazing. That'd be insanely awesome. That would be one of the craziest ways to get into One Piece because a lot of the times, like these movies hit the demographic that like don't watch One Piece, and so like imagine your first experience is watching Nika. I know a bunch of people watch JJK Zero before they watch JJK the anime, so like that would be a wild entry point. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but as far as next movies go, I teching on my stream after like Film Red, and he hit me with the Film Blue logic, and I was like, oh shit, that's if Tekking's saying that, I'm down with it, and it would be about Buggy. If the next one, if the last one's Shanks, next one's Buggy. I was thinking Film Black for Blackbeard, but I
Yeah.
don't know where like if would that be like a Shanks move, like the film Red to Shanks? Would that be like film Black to Blackbeard? Right? Everybody's always going to be like, "Oh, I want a canon event that's not relevant to the story." That would be like Ace's story. Like I feel like Oda, if he really wanted to give us something like that, he could flesh out Ace's story, Zoro's story, like those are things. But like he's still deciding on whether he wants to add more to Ace's story to make it relevant to the canon, or Zoro's story. Like that makes sense why he'd pull out a little bit off that Zoro project if he was ever involved. If because he could add a lot to Zoro's story if he wanted to, that could make a lot of things relevant. And is that the best way to write it? I don't know, but I don't think Oda's ever going to give us like a JJK0 type of
So,
thing.
so your guess is film Blue.
Yeah, just something about Buggy.
Okay.
Yeah, something centralized about him. Tell us about his nose. That'd be cool.
Yeah, get to the nose stuff. I feel like if I were to pick one, I think a Celestial Dragon movie would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like another like Doflamingo-esque character, like another fallen Celestial Dragon. Like not canon, of course, just like something on the side to prepare us for what the Holy Knights could potentially do.
Yeah. Maybe.
And it would be like completely not canon, kind of like Stampede and stuff. Like, oh, like there was a celestial dragon who, you know, didn't want to live at Marie Joie, but he was also a, you know, he was great at what he did. He was a candidate to be a Holy Knight. Just something kind of like off the wall. I think would be kind of sick.
Yeah, yeah. I wounn't be mad at that. Like a Guild to Zoro 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, with more power.
Yeah, there's a lot of good options. I mean, as long as it's not like the Clockwork Tower movie, I'm cool.
I don't even remember that one.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like movie 3 or 4.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
it's one of the early ones before Oda got involved.
Yeah, I went back and rewatched the movies, and I was like, man, it's a slog.
Awful.
Yeah, I mean, they had a cool like a mechanical Turtle Island thing, so that was sick.
Yeah, I liked elements in each one.
Yeah,
some animation was kind of sick, but overall,
there was no good villain. It was just like some old lady.
Strongworld is one of my favorites.
Son, Strongworld.
But that's because Oda was like, that's the first one that he, you know.
Yeah, ever
really
since then they got better and better.
Yeah, because Oda was involved.
Yeah, I think
like heavily involved.
Oh yeah, my favorite is still probably Film Red. I'm just a big fan of the characters, the story. I'm a big fan of Uta. I think Uta's cool.
Hey, Uta's still alive. She could show up.
Yeah, technically, yeah, she's canon. Kind of like do you see the SBS with Shiki?
Yeah.
Where Oda's like, you know, he's canon, but he's like, I didn't want somebody that could fly. He could fly, so if I bring him back, I feel like I have to make him fly now.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny.
I have an entire
wrote
video
himself
on
in a hole.
Strongworld where I talk about how so one of the main things is like acknowledging that Strongworld can't be canon. Like there's another reason for that movie's existence. But towards the end I talk about how Oda, like I think I have to be paraphrasing because I don't remember verbatim, but I say something along the lines that Oda stretched his power system using Shiki, and the reason being is that like if you really sat with what Shiki showed in that movie, floating doesn't even encompass that. Like floating would not make like half of the things that he did make any sense. He didn't even touch the island, and at one point he like summoned like 6 earth lion beasts, and it's like that's not floating at that point. That's not even fair. And then like half of the water stuff was like, hold on, that doesn't even make. I get it, but like your power's floating it, not like. There's just when you nitpick at it, I'm like, and now you add what Oda said, it's like, oh, you didn't like you were just, this is just a movie thing, and like you were kind of like,
yeah, he didn't want Shiki to ever fly.
Yeah, which
I mean he did because he picked it, but he also like never wanted to like, you know, bring it back in and make it like super canon.
Yeah.
Also, I'm looking at a picture of Mars, and I think we're so dumb. We can take the baldness from Venus, and we could just take Mars's wings.
Yeah, but I wanted to get face stuff. I wanted to do Mr. Potato Head because we did the mouth from Jupiter and the nose thing. I knew about the
Potato
wings,
Head is bald though.
Okay, how about this? We put the wings as like on his head.
Like ears,
Yeah,
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 okay, I could see that.
yeah. I think that would just make it super hilarious.
Yeah, I like that. So
Yeah,
to end
yeah.
this off, man, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate the chapter?
See, the the first two pages were like 10 out of 10. And the rest of the chapter, it's like a 6 maybe. And I know why you're asking me this. It's because I asked you to rate the one thing that we didn't talk about this entire conversation.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Yeah, Oda skillfully added filler into the manga chapter.
No, 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 he didn't.
Like
You're
we
beating
can
around the bush. What's the rating?
because of Vegapunk's message, the 2 out of 10. I think we both gave it a 2 out of 10 or something like
Yeah,
that.
Vegapunk's message solid 2 out of 10. It's
That
build up
that
for
dropped.
it's build up for next week, and I feel like next week it's gonna be 10 out of 10, but it doesn't change the 2 out of 10 this week.
Yeah, like you could have not had him speak and we would have understood. You
Yeah, I
know what I
mean,
mean?
well,
Like,
to be honest, I mean, this entire video we went almost 4 hours, and we haven't once mentioned Vegapunk's message.
and we were trying to, well, we weren't even trying to prove a point. We proved a point. This isn't scripted, guys. This is
Yeah,
just
that was just done naturally. That was a natural engagement.
yeah, I think my brain kind of deleted all the panels as we scrolled through.
Yeah,
I'm staring Vegapunk straight in the face, blank, just as blank as he is on that last page, arms crossed.
it's just
It's
super
like,
blank. Yeah, you really. Yeah, I mean, if you genuinely, not even joking, if you ignored everything Vegapunk said this chapter, you'd be in the exact same spot you are right now. Like he does not add anything,
yeah,
nothing new.
yeah. There's like,
People say it's for the world of One Piece. That's all it is. But with that being said, though, we'll go ahead and end it off here. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking us out until the very end. Really freaking appreciate it, and hopefully you guys have a good one. Stay safe out there, and we will catch you guys next week when Par is not dying from his common cold.
yeah,
Peace out,
that
guys.
one.